Yes, people, and welcome to another edition of You Know Who, You Know What, You Know When. The Rivals Wednesday. It's that time. We get into it. We're coming from a Spurs perspective, obviously, but we have other Premiership rivals on the show as well. I do want to bring on a few guests tonight. I want to bring in, first of all, Toon Tactics TV. How you doing, my kind sir?
Very well, sir. Always a privilege to be invited onto your channel and with your chat. Ready to banter, ready to talk. We've had a few classics recently. Let's make another one tonight.
Hell yeah, man. Let's make another mixtape, bro. We also have Sava joining us on the show. Welcome back, Sava. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've just watched just watched Spurs win 5-1 and signal our intent to win the Champions League and the Premier League and every league. So I'm good, man. Yeah.
You're doing so well, Sav. I was like, oh right, this is good.
I'm good. Nice. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And also we have Stefan here as well. How are you doing, kind sir? Are you good?
What's up? Hello, everybody. Looking forward to the Euros finally being over and for the actual season to slowly start. I really miss club football, so yeah, just looking forward to that, guys.
I hear it. There's many topics we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, obviously, the Euros just happened, but I want to know if that will affect the front six coming in. Will players be slightly tired? Will a couple teams drop off because of it? I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. But really, I want to talk about some of the transfer debacle because Manchester United have been really busy and they look to sign both Xerxes they've bought and they bought a new player called Leny Yoro recently. They've had the here we go from Romano, and they're both young prospects, I would say, players that have a certain profile. It looks like Man United are going for profile over big names, etc. Are other clubs following? I don't know. Chelsea also are looking to get Nico Williams over the board. And also, we were looking at Arsenal with a Calafiori deal. And great timing, Chinks. We're going to be looking at Calafiori possibly going to Arsenal. It's been stalled. We'll get into that. Why it may have stalled as well. And also, Liverpool have been one of their top players or one of their world-class players in Alexander-Arnold has been linked with a move to Real Madrid. Quite interesting, if I don't say so myself. But yeah, there was a small matter. There's a small matter I want to start off with because this is the Spurs channel, and I just want to get Sava's opinion on the Tottenham game. Obviously, Spurs won 5-1. It was a game with two halves, right? And we did start the game with a 1-0 win with a senior squad. And then the second half started off with a bang. We got pegged back to 1-1. And then the young boys, the youth, started playing and they managed to get 4 more goals and it ended up being 5-1. So, yeah, what is your opinion of the game? What is your thoughts of the first preseason game, being that it was, Hearts, Scotland, not top tier football?
Yeah, I think it's always difficult, isn't it? And welcome, everyone. Thanks for having me. Look, I think it's always difficult. First pre-season game for me, scoreline is, look, it's nice to win 5-1, but I think you're trying to get fitness, aren't you? You're trying to get some of those youngsters some minutes in their legs. The game starts. It feels like we made about 15 substitutions today, all in all. But look, some really, really nice cameos from some of the youngsters. Some really nice cameos. And long may it continue. I think it did show that Emerson Royale should never, ever, 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 ever put on a Tottenham shirt again. And I'm sorry for anyone that supports AC Milan. If he does join you, I apologise in advance for how bad he is.
I'm not playing.
Just want him gone. Just like, he's brilliant. Have him. And listen, some of the kids had some great cameos, but someone in my stream for my watch along compared Bergvall to Pirlo, and I think that sums up football in 2024, right? So look, I keep my feet on the ground with everything. I'm old and ugly enough, Ash, that I've seen many a good pre-season, and then you go into the actual year and you're absolutely rubbish, and then bad pre-seasons like last year and then you go into the season and you start on fire. So for me, it's just about fitness, just about getting the youngsters a chance. But nice to see some of the youngsters, and nice to see some goals, and nice to not watch Euros anymore. So,
I agree. I'm going to come back to that Spurs chat in a little bit. I want to talk about Manchester United, because we do have a guest by the name of Yomes, and I don't know how long I've got him for. He's not here for a long time. So are you excited, Yomes, for Project Ineos, youthful players coming in? You've got a man called Xerxes that was at Euros, but you managed to get the business done as soon as he stepped off the plane, which I respect. And then to follow up today, you have now announced a new centre-back in Leny Yoro. Talk to me about Ten Hag.
Yeah, big up the Mandem, big up the Mandem. Yeah, do you know what? It feels weird, you know? It's like this is like what competency feels like. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird, bro. Like 2 signings, and like we're still in July. Like, that's mad. Do you know, like, if this was under the previous dickheads,
bankers,
we would have been waiting till deadline day, and we would have ended up with somebody who's not Xerxes. Do you see what I'm saying? We would have ended up with Arnautovic. Like, it's weird. It feels weird. I can't really attribute to Ten Hag, to be honest, because it finally feels like there's a bit of a structure being put in place. And even though he still has a big say in some of the signings, and even though they've done a little bit of media spin to make us think he signed a contract extension, it just feels like as if like there's actual people doing the job they're supposed to be doing now. So it looks good. We just have to wait and see if they perform in it.
Positive signs, yeah? Positive signs.
Yeah, man.
I want to get you on, Stefan. Obviously, we spoke about...
snap, Stefan's here. That's my time. Great seeing you.
Yeah, Stefan's here, kind guest. He decided to...
nice to see you too, Jon.
I just wanted to ask you about Yoro. Do you think Manchester United have done like typical things where they overpay for certain players? What are your thoughts? Or do you think this is money well spent? Or has things changed at United? Is it same old same? What is your thought?
She's getting it early.
I'm a bit 50-50 with that, because for me, if you truly believe that that player is the right for your team and your system and your squad, I think it's okay to overpay, as long as you believe in that. Do I think if we look at just the transfer itself, do we think Man United overpaid for an 18-year-old? Yeah, definitely they did. That's Real Madrid wanted to only pay 25 to 30 million. They paid almost double for him, and they basically chose Yoro over De Ligt, which, looking at it, I would completely, from what I read from the reports, that now because they spend the money on Yoro, unless they sell somebody from their defense, they're not going to move from De Ligt. That's what I read from some of the reports. It might not be true. They might also move for De Ligt. Is he? If you're wanted by Real Madrid and Liverpool, yeah, it shows that he is a massive talent. But here's the thing for me: he's a center back, an 18-year-old coming into, let's be honest, a Man United team where the culture is terrible, where it's not the best place for a young player. So I'll be really intrigued how this season, because for 10 years, Man United fans have used the constant excuse of the Glazers as to why their club has gone into decline. Now, suddenly, they have this incredible structure. Now, I want to see if those results will actually show.
It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. There's so many points, Stefan. There's so many points that I just don't understand. Right? One, he's 18, so 50 million is too much for him. Why is him being 18 not a positive thing? The fact that he's 18 and wanted by the giants of Europe means that actually overpay or underpay is not something you can determine before someone kicks a ball. I'm sorry. If he's at United for 10 years and gives us performance after performance, 50 million is going to be considered a snip. If he's at United and he's terrible, then 50 million is going to be considered overpaid.
No, Yoms, I agree with you, but tell me the last young player that you signed for big money that was successful.
Cristiano
Sancho.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay.
Cristiano. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, hold on.
It doesn't matter. You said that United is not a great place for young players. I doubt Kobe Mainoo's saying that. I doubt Alexandra Garnacho saying that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Genuinely.
again, this is what Man United fans do. They like to hype up everything about. They think they're just this. Kobe Mainoo has done a good 6 months. No, Kobe Mainoo has done a good 6 months. Kobe Mainoo could turn out to be really good, or he could turn out to be Adnan Januzaj, who had a really good season, who everybody hyped up.
Let's not talk about could be's here. We're talking about
that's
somebody
not
who's
fair, Yoms.
Let's not talk about could be's. Let's talk about what Kobe Mainoo's been doing.
It could be worth the money, or it couldn't be worth the money. So you could talk about
no. There's nuance to this, right? There's nuance. Like I like to say, Kobe Mainoo's got mileage. He's played 40 senior games, and in these 40 senior games, he's won a trophy, and he's gone to England and performed really well. I'm sorry, but Kobe Mainoo for England was the outstanding midfielder. So I don't understand. I don't understand this whole thing about he's just this and he's just that. He's performed. He's shown us what he can do.
I didn't say he's just that. I said relax and let's see how things develop with the young players.
No, but you're telling me to relax after saying that United is not a great place for young players.
Disagree with you. Culturally, so are we all agreeing that 2 players being decent for a set period of time qualifies your whole club culture as being excellent for blood and youth?
What I'm saying is,
does the panel agree with that?
We don't have
that 2 players qualify.
We don't have loads of young players. We don't have loads of young players.
That's what Steph was saying, though.
But the young players that we do have. But the young players that we do have are performing. It's the young players at United that are performing, not the old players.
A quick question again. So does everybody qualify? Just only 2 players being decent qualify your whole club culture being sufficient for blood and youth?
What level of youth are we talking about? Because
any level you want to say that 2 players alone qualifies it.
If we're talking about Man United's youth academy, it's fantastic. Like they're smashing it. But if
Arsenal's but how many made it to the first team?
Yours is about currently, like so they're winning cups, they're doing really well. I know what you're talking about, probably the first team or on the fringes of. I think you're gonna get a mixed kind of response from that. But as Yom said, I think for every Kobe Mainoo and Garnacho, there's also an Elanga and others who you might say, well, but then you get a mixed result on.
But that's every club.
That's every club.
To highlight and say, United don't have a culture for young players. To highlight United and say, to single out United and say United are this because Elanga left or because blah blah blah. The truth of the matter is, I'm just saying. Let me speak in it. I'm just saying that right now, United. That statement that United is not a great place for young people is proven wrong.
He didn't say that. He said it doesn't have a great youth culture, and based on you only having 2 players to go against his statement. So are we all in agreement that Man United is a great club for youth players?
I didn't say United.
No, I didn't.
So then Stefan's not incorrect.
I just want to clarify.
He's actually accurate. No,
I just want to clarify.
Why are you combating his point then?
Let's clarify
because he's point. Because
I just want to clarify because everybody's rewording it for it. I said United. It has a great youth academy, but it doesn't have.
You're lying now. Now you're lying.
No. In terms of the academy is really good. What I'm saying is the culture built around to continue the development of players is not great based on previous.
Do you know what people like to do? People like to have arguments in black and white. It's either terrible or it's great.
Yeah.
Right? It's neither of those.
How is it? It's
neither of those. It's not terrible.
Examples of young players.
It's not
terrible,
arguing against
and it's not great.
He's giving context.
I'm just giving.
No, but
he's just giving you the context.
Yeah, but the context directly goes against what Steph is saying, that it's not the greatest place for culture.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Sorry. For me, I think this all depend on a few aspects. Like, first of all, when we're saying how many youth players have been successful, I think it clarifies successful. All young players grow at a different stage, right? So some young players like Kobe Mainoo has burst onto the scene, 18 years of age, had a brilliant second half to the season, played well for England in the Euros, and now his stock is high. You might have another player who might be better than Mainoo, but takes a bit longer and might get there when he's 21, right? So when we're talking about successful, are we talking about immediate success. Like a kid has come in, they're brilliant. Second of all, are we talking about how good the individual player's been versus how Man United have been as a team, right?
Exactly.
And we do this a lot, right? So what we do is we say, oh, X didn't play well, so that means when you buy Z, he can't do well. And we do that a lot. Like I see it with Spurs fans, for example, Ash, when people talk about, sorry to go off a tangent, we say, let's buy Santiago Jimenez. Oh, no, because the last time we bought Vincent Janssen from the Dutch league, it was poor. They've got nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
We're just lumping them in. So
on top of that, if your argument is that I'm not sure about this because United isn't a great place for youth talent at the moment, how do you change that? Is the only way to change that not to buy promising youth players and make it a greater place for youth players? Or should we just continue buying Casemiro?
So doesn't that definitely prove Steph's point that they're trying to make it a better place for youth culture by changing their processes?
No,
just because you're starting to change it doesn't mean it's great now.
My point was not that United is a great place for youth. My point is that let's not talk like as if it's terrible for youth when you've got players that are blossoming, that are youth players. I don't get.
Did you say terrible, Steph? I thought you said it's not the greatest.
Yeah,
I thought you literally said it's not the greatest. That's not terrible, is it?
I just said that Leny Yoro, when he comes into the Man United dressing room, the culture that is being set by the senior players in that squad currently, Yoms, would you not agree, is not very good, which is whenever Man United start to lose, you know what happens. The league start to begin about training is too hard. They don't like the coach. The coach is really harsh on them. Stuff like, which tells me that the culture of the senior players is shit. And the fact is that every time things get tough at Man United, they bail out. All of the players stop trying or just play poorly.
Disagree.
And that
I completely disagree.
I completely disagree.
So wait, what part do you disagree with?
So I believe one or two players might have a bad attitude, and I believe that Ten Hag is trying. I think the previous regime gave wages that are really ridiculously difficult to get rid of. So those players might still be lingering around, but you might have one or two players. But I don't see a bad attitude in every player. That's beyond ridiculous. We're talking about youth players. Dallo was a youth player, great attitude.
Okay. So
I'm saying we've got players that literally try week in, week out. I don't get this whole.
Okay, Jones, let me counter that quickly. Your highest paid player, Marcus Rashford, checked out last season. Let's be honest. There were times on the pitch where it was embarrassing. He wasn't even trying.
Personally, I think Marcus Rashford is one of those players I was referring to when I said ridiculously high.
Yeah, but he's the leading. So Leny Yoro comes in and he's looking at who is the highest paid player and who should be the person that I looked up to.
So because Marcus Rashford at times had an attitude that we don't want, that means every player did.
No, you're conflating. No, hold on, Steph, because he's doing this thing where he's not taking what you say literally. So hold on, Steph. So you remember when what's his name? Arteta got rid of Aubameyang because it was a bad example for the youth players.
It was late.
So you see how that one player can affect a whole dressing room, and you set you have to set a standard. So the fact you have even more than one player in your team,
Bruno.
Is a great example of why Steph is saying it's not the best culture for youth players if you have senior players who are just willing to down tools.
But Chinks, isn't it dependent again, like on? I think everyone's just saying that Man U now is Man U last season. Now, first and foremost, let's forget that this team with the bad apples, so to speak, as talked about.
So does this mean you disagree with that?
Hang on.
That's like quote marks, like it's bullshit.
No,
so do you completely disagree with that?
If you let me get to the end of the point.
No, I just
let him land, Chinks, please.
Right. So I won't do that if this makes it better. Right. So for a team that have got loads of bad apples and no one there that the young players can learn off, they still went and won an FA Cup final. They still managed to forge their way back into Europe. Right. They have now got a new owner who's running the club. I know the majority is still the Glazers. They've got a new owner who's come in. He's already brought in a new director of football who's very well respected in the game, who's coming out in the media and actually saying, this is what we want to do. This is what we're doing. He's starting to do it. I think the problem is if we keep judging by what's gone, nothing can change. I think there is an element of both of your sides. Yeah, I don't think Man United's the greatest place in the world. Slowly but surely,
that's exactly what Steph said.
I think it's incrementally changing. Now, first of all, this is the problem. Hang on.
Stefan,
you've got two of these. They've got a new owner who's coming in and doing things differently.
Who's done shit at every other club he's owned.
Hang on.
Okay, great.
Okay, they've got a new owner who's coming in and putting his money where his mouth is. Right? They've got a director of football.
Man United have always spent money, though.
It's not about spending money. It's about spending money.
But he just said about spending money, so how can you say it's not about that?
Sure.
Put his money where his mouth is, but it's about spending it correctly.
Right. And it's about spending it correctly. Same with Spurs. We spend money, you spend it poorly. But when you look at Leny Yoro, first and foremost, Leny Yoro going into that changing room shouldn't be looking at Marcus Rashford for any form of guidance. He's not the captain. He doesn't play in his position. That is not the man he should be looking at for guidance.
So Bruno is his
guidance? Hang on. And if Bruno is his guidance, Bruno's
fantastic.
Bruno is a man that has lifted 2 trophies in the last 2 years. Whatever we think of him, Bruno is a man.
I don't know why you're talking about Bruno like as if he's
I agree.
One of the players down tools. We're not listening.
Not a leader.
When did Bruno down tools? Are you serious?
There's videos. Have you not been on X or what they call it now, Twitter?
Bruno.
I see best videos of him.
Bruno has played literally almost every single game for the past 3 seasons. Right? He's been our talisman
as well.
With amazing stats. He's been our talisman at times. He's literally dragged the team at times. Sometimes he doesn't do it. Sometimes he's not as talented. I agree with you there. Sometimes he doesn't show his talent all the time. But to say, should he be looking up to Bruno? Now Bruno's a bad player.
So I just want to clarify because I feel like we're being extremely disingenuous. So Bruno Fernandez has never thrown a strop and not played to his fullest ability.
He's thrown a strop. So if you're a player that does not throw a strop, you do not care about your team. I'm sorry. If your
so it's never down tools because you grab the strop part, but not down tools.
Between downing tools and throwing a strop, there's a complete difference.
No, I said both. I've said he's done both.
I don't believe he's down tools.
So he's never done both.
I do not believe he's down tools. I
believe in Allah. You believe in the Lord. That means
that's all Nero there.
You're willing to rest your hat on the fact he never has.
He has never down tools.
Forget him throwing
shots. Can I ask though, has he performed?
Not last season.
Okay. Hang on, Stefan. Hang on. Okay, but if we're going to talk, let's talk holistically. If we're going to look at Bruno Fernandez, by the way, I'm going to put this out there right now. I can't stand him as a personality. Right? He drives me nuts. But remove the emotion from the situation. This guy's numbers, are not only very, very good. They are very, very consistent. It doesn't matter how much you want to hate him, say he downs tools. His numbers are ridiculous. He's got 54 goals, right, in 4.5 seasons for Man United, and he's got over 45 assists. He's got just shy of 100 goal contributions from midfield in 5 seasons. That's bloody brilliant.
Let me answer this. I never doubted he's an amazing player, and I think he's actually underrated by many Man United fans and in the Premier League. But I'm going to ask this question. Is he a good leader? Harry Kane has amazing stats, but he's 0 as a leader.
Haven't they just won 2 trophies? Hasn't he captained them to 2 trophies?
Okay. Yeah, but every time.
So great stats, wins trophies, always fit, plays every week. What is it you want from him?
Do you know what it is? People judge certain teams. They judge certain teams and certain players that they don't like by a ceiling that is ridiculously high. Let's just call a spade a spade. You are allowed to not like a team. It's fine. But to turn around and say Leny Yoro is coming into a United team that is this and that, and he shouldn't be looking up to Bruno Fernandez and blah blah blah. Let's just say you didn't. Nobody expected United to pull off that signing of Leny Yoro. Nobody did, because when Real Madrid want a player, they get him, right? And on top of that, Liverpool also wanted him, and on top of that, PSG also wanted him, and United got it done. Just clap your hands and say well done. Yeah, you don't like all of this nonsense around all this and that, trying to pick holes. It's nonsense.
But Yons is
with this thing, we're never allowed to say nothing negative about no team ever.
No, you can. Look. I think we're getting. I think we're getting into the weeds here of is Bruno Fernandez or whoever one player isn't going to determine the success of Leny Yoro, and the whole question was around Leny Yoro coming into Man United. I think the bigger picture is, as with all these things, I think people are like I always call it the process, the stages of grief. The first bit is denial. Look, Man United are getting better. Like, if you're in denial about that, I feel sorry for you. Like, they're making better financial decisions, better player profile decisions. They review the whole corporate structure. They've got actually footballing people in. Yeah. Whether it will work or not, we don't know. But they are making the right choices going up front. So let me I'll just finish. So in terms of Leny Yoro, I think this is how it was sold to Leny Yoro. Is look at our structure. Everything is changing or is in the process of changing. Look, we've got a whole new team coming. I'm surprised that Arsenal fans don't realize what has changed. This is exactly what you guys done. Yeah. You did that. I'm so surprised that you guys can't see
following the blueprint. It hurts to say it, but we are following the
blueprint. And Arsenal fans were arguing the same point when Arteta sold Aubameyang, when he sold all these other players, and people were saying, "Why did you do that?" Because you guys can't see the process.
Tell me, Okay, Toon, tell me one. Yes, Arteta removed the bad eggs first. People forget that because you're, again, as always, comparing to Arsenal. Tell me one bad egg that Ten Hag removed.
It's July, like it's mid-July. Like,
let's just be honest about this, right? It is a lot easier to remove a player that might be on 150k a week than it is to remove a player that's on 300k a week. Let's not. You're comparing apples and pears.
That's what Arteta did.
So Arteta went and removed Aubameyang.
Also in Aubameyang, the two highest.
No. Didn't Ozil run down his contract?
No, he had a year. He had a year and a half left, from what I think. He completely alienated him from the group. He removed him, and they kept paying him.
Right. So
isn't that what he did with Sancho?
So who's got a year left on their contract?
Well, he did.
This is what I'm saying. He got rid of.
Isn't that what he did with Greenwood and Sancho?
Steph, you're letting them make you take
Ronaldo.
No, he didn't do that with Sancho because Sancho's
back in the squad. Having
redemption is never allowed. So because I get rid of
redemption is never allowed.
Hang on, Stefan.
Now it's redemption. Which one is it, Savo? Did he remove him?
I'm trying to talk. Like, do you know what I mean? Calm yourself down. You get very worked up about Arsenal, right? Calm down, right?
No, we're talking about Man United. Don't tell me.
I know we are. But the thing is, when Yoms has pointed out, right, that what they're doing is very similar to what you're doing, right? First and foremost, Sancho was an issue. We all pretend we know the ins and outs, but Sancho was an issue in whatever way, right? So the manager has removed him from the team for that season. Got to the pre-season. Now they can have the chats. Are they going to go forward together and he's going to have redemption? Or does he need to sell him because he's a bad apple? It could be that he was in a bad moment in his life and it didn't work. Go away for a year, gather your thoughts, get your form back, come back next season. For all we know, Sancho could be player of the year next year. I'm not saying he will be, by the way. I'm just saying he could be, right?
Okay.
Also, Greenwood, all the stuff going on there. See you later. So Ten Hag has done exactly what you've asked for.
Ronaldo gave an anti-Manchester United, the biggest player that has ever played for Manchester United.
He's done what you said.
Wait, can I ask
again, the narrative. Ronaldo removed himself. Ronaldo sacked himself.
Wait.
All right, so that's absolutely nothing to do with the manager. When he gets rid of the player, it's nothing to do with the manager.
Let me come in real quick, yeah? I can ask one question. One real vital question for everyone, and anyone can jump in after this.
You set pace on this.
Anyone, I know what I'm doing, bro. Has anyone seen this brother play? I just want to know. Has anyone seen this guy play?
Yes.
When I've seen him, when I've looked at him, he goes to ground a lot, and he is very quick. I'll say that. So he does a lot of recovery pace. I'm not saying he hasn't got a head on his shoulders because he looks mature for his age. But Sava, in your opinion, is he an aggressor, like similar to what they have already on their left-handed side of Martinez, or is he someone that's going to complement what they have already?
Do you know what? When I watch him, do you know who he reminds me of? Now, I'm saying at that age, when Rio Ferdinand was 18, right? When he was 18, right? I'm not saying Rio Ferdinand at peak, because Rio Ferdinand at peak for me was arguably the best centre-half the Premier League seen, right? Rio Ferdinand at 18, everyone saw this amazing ability, depending on your age, right? So I'm showing my age, right? Showed this amazing ability, but had mistakes in him, right? And the question was always about Rio Ferdinand at the time was, he can bring the ball out, he can tackle, he can play, he's composed. Can he cut out the mistakes? When those mistakes got cut out, you saw a Rolls Royce. Now, Yoro reminds me of him at that age. I'm not saying he'll go on to have that career. I'm not saying he'll go on to be as good, but Leny Yoro is super composed, very, very calm on the football, right? He's very good at nicking the ball away from players, right? And he's got a nice pass on him as well. He's got a knack of being in the right place at the right time, but he's 18, right? I think he's good.
Would you say he's a step up from Varane, or would you say he's an improvement on Varane?
I think it's difficult because the Varane we were seeing wasn't the Varane. When you say a player's name, what do you think, right? So when I say Ronaldo, I don't think of Ronaldo, what I've just watched in the Euros. I think of Ronaldo, right? Varane, for the last few years, I'm watching him and you can see the quality, but it's not what it was. It's not. He's not there. I don't know if he was ever fully sold on it. What you've got now is a young, hungry player with ability coming across. He's got experience of 2 years in Liga. He's played European football. I think this is a really good signing. And if we're going to start saying that every young player that comes over, right? If we're going to start saying that every young player Man United buy, it's bad because of Man United's culture. Who do they buy? Because if they buy senior players, all you're going to hear is, oh my God, but look what happened with Casemiro. Look what happened with Mason Mount. So are we saying Man United shouldn't buy anyone?
This is what I'm saying. This is the
I think it's a good move.
The issue is, right, when you talk about Varane, yeah, Varane was on 270k a week, right? And his contract ran out. Yeah. Something crazy like that. So you've got a decision to make. Do I give this guy another year at 270k a week, which for various different financial reasons, United said we're not going to do, right? My preference would have been to keep Varane, get rid of Lindelof and Maguire, and have Yoro learning from Varane, right?
Yeah.
The problem is you can't do that when you've got players on big wages. Harry Maguire outright just refused to leave last year. Do you get what I'm saying? So you can't wait for West Ham to come in and pray with your fingers crossed that they're going to come in and take him. So you've got to say, all right, Varane, thank you very much. Move you on, and then hope you get rid of Maguire and then bring in De Ligt, somebody who is experienced. So that's what I was. The concept of saying, Yoro is this and that because he's 18. I can't remember the last 18-year-old centre back that this many clubs in Europe were interested in. And
I want to ask you a question.
Telling you something.
I want to ask you a question on the back of. Sorry, Stefan, you can jump in when you're ready. But I want to ask you a question off the back of the Bruno Fernandez comments you guys were making before. He plays in the number 10 role, but you've also signed Xerxes. And from what I understand, Xerxes,
he's a 9 though. Yeah, he's a 9, but he's like
Xerxes plays as a 9, but he drops in and he drops in the 10. He drops in the 10 role.
Yeah.
Will there be a conflict of interest for Bruno? Will Bruno have to play further out wide? If you've got
Bruno's just not going to have to play every game, and that's it. He's not going to have to go. He's not going to have to play every single game we have going, and that is fantastic.
And I think also we don't know what system Man United are going to play. I don't know. Does anybody know what system they're going to play? Now that they've got Ruud van Nistelrooy, all these other new assistants, Ten Hag is going to have to start playing the football he promised to play. So I don't know. I don't know what system they're going to play. It's
a squad game, right? It's a squad game. I think far too many times in football, what we do is go, but so and so have bought this player, but they've already got them. So what? Yeah. I don't ever see Man City sign a player, right? Ever, and anyone goes, I can't believe they've bought Alvarez. They've got no. You go, Pep will play them. Pep will get them all 30, 40 games a season.
Haven't City got 10 centre backs?
City have got 5 quality centre backs that all play every week. Strangely, do you know what I mean? He finds a way. That's the manager's job for me. It's not, is Bruno happy? Is Xerxes happy? You've got to be able to rotate. And you know what? We'll probably come to it later. That's exactly why Arsenal don't win the league and City do. They've got the players to rotate in. Arsenal don't. You've got to have top quality all throughout your squad.
I think, Ash, were you kind of indicating towards how would they play together rather than if the squad is happy? Were you kind of thinking about the style of play when you said Xerxes?
Yeah, no, I was thinking, obviously, Bruno has that kind of, he's the 10 at the moment. He's got space to roam free. But then Xerxes kind of drops in that position where you normally see Bruno operating. And the reason why I mentioned it, because I know it's a different team. We saw England, there was a few issues when you had Bellingham, you had Foden. They were kind of getting in each other's way. Kane as well. He would drop in the hole. He's a 9, and he's getting in the way of the 10th position. So I just thought possibly, and then on top of it, apparently Man United are looking for another striker in the name of Tony. So I was like, it sounds amazing, but I'm just throwing it out.
How are they going to play together?
United don't look at no.
They're not going to sign Tony.
I think we're kind of
going to sign Tony.
I think we're slowly getting the light shine light on the players they're buying, how they're going to play. I think we're going to see a whole different Man United than what we saw last season. I suspect-ish that if you got a Xerxes, you're going to have almost a Morata type of role where they'll go from there'll be a target man 1 minute, but then those who drop in, move the centre backs about. I think Bruno Fernandez will play in his favourite role as a number 10. Maybe when Xerxes isn't playing, when you play what's his name, Højlund, who's more of a natural number 9. He doesn't like to drop in, but he likes to kind of run with the ball. Where a Højlund and a Fernandez make a situation, but it gives them options. It gives them. They're actually thinking. That's a scary. They're thinking.
I just have 2 questions for Yums and for Sam in particular. Does the new defender that they signed, does he start over Maguire automatically?
Yes, I start over Maguire.
You sure?
Yes. The reason why I am so sure, and I say that with absolute certainty,
I honestly think Maguire is going to start with
Maguire will not start. Listen, like Toon said, right? This season, Ten Hag's going to have to start playing the football that he promised he would play. That does not come with Maguire. Maguire, I actually don't think Maguire stays. I think he goes this summer. But if you're paying £50 million, possibly up to 60 million, right, for an 18-year-old centre back, and you've sold him the dream, and he's got pace, you play him. The reason why United defend deep is because Maguire doesn't have pace. It's literally as simple as that. He doesn't want to defend that way. He's had to defend that way because he's working with Lindelof and Maguire. Lindelof's in the last year of his contract. I can't see him staying there. Maguire, I can't see him staying there. If he wants any kind of England career or any kind of game minutes, he needs to go. And then I think they bring De Ligt in. But
you've been trying to sell Maguire for 2 years. He refuses to go anywhere. He's on massive wages.
But we've got people who know the job now, and that's the difference. We've got people who know the job now who will say, all right, West Ham, take him for £15 million.
And then,
you know what I'm saying? We're not even going to be holding out for the 30.
Yeah, and no, but then but then Harry Maguire is going to tell West Ham, listen, I've got one more contract in me, big one. I'm being paid 200K a week. Give me a pay hike actually, because I'm moving to London instead of Manchester. Give me 200K at least, and West Ham are going to tell him fuck off.
We'll have to wait and see. Look, there's people working on transfers behind the scenes that are way smarter than you and I. That is exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened last year. Is he refused to go? I don't think
because West Ham didn't want to pay him. Because West Ham
couldn't afford his wages. You're absolutely right. But I think this year they buy him at a cut price. I don't think they buy him at the same 30 million.
Or it goes Saudi
last year.
I just want to bring in Deji real quick because he's been there for a minute and he was one of my brothers. I want to just ask him, first of all, how you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thank you.
Yeah. You look tired of the Manchester United talk already, but obviously they are talking about a lot of prospects and projects, etc., profiles, blah blah blah. There was a team called Spurs that played today. They won 5-1 at Hearts. It's a friendly, nothing really to talk about there. But obviously, do you see Spurs at the moment staying where they are, being stagnant, or do you see Spurs moving forward in the season to come?
Yes.
At the moment?
I think I'll deal with the first question about Manchester United. I find it very difficult to talk about Man United because I think I find the club fully dusty, in my opinion. I find them extremely boring. I love it when Toon talks because, he's very analytical and he's very persuasive. I know I come to realize on his LinkedIn that he's legal counsel. So when persuasion thing, the truth is Man United is crap. And we don't know whether Yoro is going to do anything. We don't know whether Erik ten Hag has turned a new corner. We don't even know if Van Nistelrooy is going to be able to help put a little fire in their belly and enable that Man United team to compete. All I can remember is that last season was the worst Man United team I've ever seen in my life. And at the end of it, Erik ten Hag said, after they won the FA Cup, "This is what I do. I win trophies," despite they were an absolute disgrace the whole season. So for me, I will just reserve my comments on Man United moving forward. As for my club, Tottenham Hotspur, I think it's too early to tell. I'm not sure if we're stagnant. I can't shake my bum about beating Hearts. Me and my kids' team, bunch of under-9s here in London, would probably slap up that Hearts team if I'm being brutally honest. So I can't take anything from that game. What I need to see moving forward, though, there's two interesting links that will make me feel that maybe our club is stepping in the right direction. The first one is Eze. The second one is Neto. If we bring in those two brothers, then I'll be like, yep, this looks interesting. This is looking like the sort of reinforcements that we need. The fact that I'm seeing Timo Werner get minutes tonight is quite worrying. So for me, I can't even comment on Tottenham at the moment. I want to see some decent signings because the signings that we have at the moment is not enough for us to make progress, in my opinion.
I hear it. Yeah, just staying on that Spurs point, and I'll come to Sava because obviously we do support Spurs. What do you think Spurs need to do in the window? Do you think we're going to be serious in terms of moving forward? Like we haven't, obviously, Manchester United have made moves, and we're talking about 18-year-olds going for 50 million, 60 million, and you're talking about 23-year-olds that have Serie A experience coming in for United. And as soon as the Euros are done, they're getting business done. Mm-hmm. What do you think Spurs are playing at? Will we get business done before, or are we too impatient because we've got another?
No, we're not too impatient, Ash. This is 24 years of this nonsense. If I had £1 for every time in a summer I hear words like patience, rebuild, project, trust, process. If I had £1 for every time, I would be a multi-millionaire. Wouldn't need to sit here and do this and work in my full-time job. It's too many buzzwords. The problem with Tottenham is, listen, we signed a couple of decent 18-year-olds or good 18-year-olds. We don't know how good they're going to be. They're 18, right? Again, keep my feet on the ground, but these are 18-year-olds that haven't come from top leagues or haven't played top football yet. So I reserve judgment. They look decent. We'll see how they go. I'll say the same thing I say to every single Spurs fan that asks me about, is this a good window? Is it a bad window? Blah, blah, blah. I always ask the question, fans get bored of me asking this, what do Spurs want to be, Ash? Because if Spurs want to be a 5th, 6th place team that every now and then fight for 4th, keep doing what we're doing. Keep doing what we're doing. That's great. And people can go, yeah, good window. If we actually at any point want to say, well, we built this stadium to compete, we're the 8th richest club in the world or 7th richest club in the world, and we want to compete, then what we're doing is poor. So it all depends for me. What do we want to be, Ash? We're fine right now if we want to be 5th, 6th, 7th. But you want to close that gap to Arsenal, Liverpool, City. I'm not saying win it. I'm saying just close the gap because there's a big 25-point gap there, right? If we want it. Yeah, that's huge. If we want to close that, you don't do that with 18-year-olds from the Championship in Sweden, right? You've got to add some quality. And I don't mean one. I don't mean that we just buy Eze and then everyone says he's backed him. No, we need 2 or 3 that you bring in now that drop bang into that first 11 and are better than what we've got. And if you don't do that, then I make Deji. I agree with Deji for once. I don't normally agree with Deji, but as much as I love him, I don't normally. Well, at the moment, we can't say whether we're stagnating or not because we haven't really made any moves. We haven't signed anybody that you go, he starts. He's better than Maddison in that role. He's better than Son in that role. He's better than whoever it may be. And last thing I'll say on this was the problem, Ash. I've said this to you a million times, right? Mm. Every Spurs fan I speak to says, we need two players. We need a proper winger who beats a man, and we need a forward. Problem was, the moment we re-signed Timo Werner, we squashed that completely because now we've not got enough places in the forward line, in the squad, to bring both in. So now you've got one player that can come into that forward line. So for me, I've got to see what we do. But I've been saying this when I first started talking about this 24 years ago under these owners, Ash. I was 16. I had a six-pack. I lived at home with my mum. Never had a proper job. Yeah. And I didn't have these lines all over my head. 24 years later, I'm sitting here saying the same things, hearing the same things from Spurs fans, and nothing's changing at the club. So for me, yes, I'll be patient. Yes, I'll wait and see. But at the moment, I can't see how we're any better than we were last season. And I don't know what's taking us so long.
I missed that bit of news. Did you say re-sign Timo Werner?
Yeah, we re-signed Timo Werner
on a perm or on another?
On loan. You signed him on loan.
Put him on loan.
Right. Stefan, whether we've signed him on loan or not, he takes up a squad place for the year.
So you signed him for another year on a loan, right?
On 165 grand a week.
Well, that's the same wages as the new signing of Man United. He's on 100.
Sure.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not.
Whether it is or not, that's somebody who's at that end of his career who is sought after. This is Timo Werner that no one wants, and Spurs went.
But would you say? I mean, I take every point that Sava's saying, but in terms of just on the point of big signings, nobody's really made big signings. I'll be more worried if I was a Spurs fan that Newcastle, Aston Villa, Chelsea, whatever, have bought in these two big, Eze type signings or whatnot, and Tottenham haven't. That hasn't happened. It's still. I'm going to say long suffering. I'm not going to say patient. I'm going to say long suffering.
Patient. Two. Do you know the difference? Yeah. Whenever anybody says to me, "Oh, but Sava, Liverpool, City, Arsenal haven't done anything yet," do you know my answer to that?
Yeah.
Liverpool, City, and Arsenal don't need to. They're not the ones that have got to find a 25-point gap. City, we know, will lose one, replace one. Lose one, replace one. They got their squad. Arsenal now, for me, don't need major surgery. Arsenal are building a nice squad. They need to drop one or two really good ones in. Right? Liverpool,
haven't you guys? All right. So over the last year or so, haven't you brought in Brennan Johnson, Madders? What's the super fast running Van der Ven, Jargerson, Timo Werner, Richarlison. So like Phillip. You guys have who?
Vicario,
like 5 million.
Vicario, but so you guys have been doing bits, especially over the last year or so. I don't think there can be an expectation of any club in this day and age really to just keep going with those level of signings. You see what I mean? Like,
but Yoms, half the players you just mentioned there are absolutely pony though. That's the problem. Richarlison is shit, right? Brennan Johnson is so painfully average, it's unreal. So my gripe, Yoms, isn't that Daniel Levy doesn't spend money. Daniel Levy's always spent money, but what Spurs do, we'll go and buy 7 in a window. Right, we go and buy quantity rather than saying, you know what, this window we're going to buy 3 or 4. And when I say quality, by the way, you guys all know me by now, right? I don't think Spurs should be buying Rodri's and Kevin De Bruyne's. But I do think Spurs should be able to go and buy an Eze, and it shouldn't be a big deal, right? We're the 7th richest club in the world. This is why we move stadium. This is why we host the events. If we can't go to Palace and take Eze and then say, right, okay, what's next? And go and get another Eze level type player. I just wonder what are we doing? Are we just destined for
Eze will go to Arsenal? Do you think Eze will go to like an Arsenal? Because he is a South London boy, grew up in Greenwich, plays at South.
I don't think Arsenal. I don't think he fits our system, to be honest. I like him as a
Eze?
Eze's cool.
He'll do a
I
better
think
job
Eze's
than
one of the
Martinelli.
best wingers in the league.
Huh? Sorry?
He'll do a better job than Martinelli, my bro.
100%.
He'd be brilliant.
100%.
Okay,
Massive
relax.
Arsenal.
Okay, just because of
He's
one
relax.
season.
I mean, the first now that
Eze
you
now
mentioned
is like
Eze
the
and
next
Arsenal
big
together,
thing.
I'm looking at it like that's probably a match made in heavens.
I disagree.
Seriously.
I actually don't think Eze is a good left winger. I think he's more of an 8 or a number 10.
Left wing forward.
No, he's actually
That's my
correct. He's been
point.
playing in the
And
middle a
reason-
lot recently.
And the reason why I don't think Eze fits at Arsenal isn't because of his on-ball ability. I think off the ball he's lazy. I don't think he's good enough pressing-wise. That's just my opinion. He can laugh.
Listen, he's a match winner, man. He's a match winner.
It's easy
And
to
you
say.
need players. You
Yes.
need players.
And it's
Totally,
easy
this
to
is
say
why-
that, but he was
Yes,
playing
but
over
every
Palace,
single-
who haven't been pressing
So
for many years.
Exactly.
And when
No,
their
that's not
new
true,
manager
Youngs.
came in,
No,
when their
that's
new
not
manager
true.
came in, when
No,
their
that is
new
true.
manager came in, halfway through last season, he has been pressing, and they have been doing very well, and they have been playing that.
And I got to see that live at Selhurst. Him,
they're cold.
They pressed the life
Can I
out
just,
of us.
have you lot got? Is there any points that Stefan have said that any of you lot agree with? I just want to check.
I don't agree with the laziness thing. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
But I do agree with the 8-10.
It just seems like everything he says, you lot just.
I think he's both.
I just don't agree. That's all.
No.
You've got to remember, Chinks, this is a guy that last time I was on told me that Partey was better than Rodri. So I find it really difficult to agree with it. So
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not me that actually thought of that when they played together. It was Simeone. But okay, it's a terrible.
I mean, do you know what the thing is?
In your pocket, Steph. Well done.
How many years you want to go back?
When Rodri and Partey were at the same club competing for the same spot, Partey was the starter.
And why?
It's a fact. You can go check.
And who said that he's better? Did you say Diego Simeone?
I'm not living in 2019 though. I'm living in 2024, Stefan. So when we had the conversation as to who was better, you said Partey, and I'm like, not in a million years is Partey fit to lace Rodri's boots.
Yes, you're right now.
The last 4 years
is better than Partey. But whenever I have watched Partey play against Rodri in games when Arsenal played against Man City, Partey was better in most of those games.
Don't do it. All right.
He's done it.
Chinks, it's your fault. It's your fault, Chinks. That's your fault, Chinks.
But to be honest, he kind of has a point, because if you lot can, and I'm not talking about in terms of that subject, I just mean about the time frame, innit? Because if you lot want to, he spoke about Man U based on their history, and in this world, like, we rely a lot on history. That's why you have to give references, like you have a CV, your insurance asks you stuff about your previous driving. Like, we base a lot of our opinions on history, innit? But when he based his decisions of Man U on their history, and I know there's some new changes, but the same people who made the old changes that were shit are making these new changes. When he wanted to base his opinion on Man U based on what he's seen for the very recent history, you lot wanted to base it on the imaginary future, what hasn't actually come to fruition yet. Like, do you know what I mean? And then when we spoke about Spurs, you wanted to go to the history, but then you didn't have the same, you know what I mean? The same. But we've made different changes last season than we have historically. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's just funny how the goalposts get moved.
Chinks, can I tell you why the goalpost moves? If Stefan is going to drop something and call it a fact, go and do your homework first, because I've just checked, and in the 1 year that both Partey and Rodri were at Atletico Madrid together, Rodri played more games than Partey. So this whole he preferred him over him, it's not factual. It's completely made up, and it's because people can't take their club spectacles off.
Where did Rodri play and where did Partey play? Please check. Please.
What do you mean?
No. I mean, Sava, Partey played in the same position as Rodri did, in the number 6. Rodri
you said he played more. Now you're moving the goalposts.
Go check, huh?
You said he played more.
What? Chinks didn't. Chinks said he's going to stay away from that subject, right? And I've got a feeling why. I've got a feeling I know why. You said about the Rodri Partey argument, right? You said I'm going to stay away from that, and I think we all know it's because comparing Rodri
And Declan Rice.
And Partey is bananas, right? It's just bananas. Now, I don't disagree with everything Stefan says. Most of the things that Stefan says, I think, come from a place of like a level of understanding about certain things. But then there's certain things that Stefan says that makes me, and I'm just kind of like,
that's the best ever way I've heard someone say you're stupid in my life.
No. I'm being serious. Most of the time we're on the show, me and Stefan agree. But then saying things like United shouldn't buy an 18-year-old because they're not good with youth, to me, is a bit kind of. I didn't
say that.
So how do you get better with youth if you're not going to buy youth?
I did not say that. You keep putting words in my mouth. I didn't say. I said the culture is not the best for youth to come in and develop. That's very different from saying it's not good for youth. Man United is great for youth. It's great because they get, at the moment, they're not very good. So they're going to give players like Kobe Mainu, they're going to give players like the Yoro a chance to actually play. But in terms of developing towards a new level, I look at precedents. I don't look at the vision that you guys, the so-called hypothetical. If this happens and now we have this structure and now this, I look at what has happened with all your young players. I look at Jesse Lingard. I look at Pogba. I look at Adnan Januzaj before that. I look at the two brothers, the Brazilian brothers, the right back and the left back, Fabio da Silva. All
of the players that you've named that are Premier League winners. Those guys.
Okay. Yeah, but what? Yeah. Okay, they were Premier League winners at a young age. What happened to
Lingard moonwalk at the Emirates?
Stefan, what if every club went by that theory?
Does that mean he's amazing?
Lingard also got rounds at the Emirates.
So that's it. No, you know what, Steph? You know what it is? It's the level of understanding. So as long as you moonwalk at the Emirates, you're a great youth team player.
As long as you score one goal,
they're all great.
Yeah.
But surely, on a serious level, Stefan, if we go by that theory that like you said, I'm looking at what happened with you use Lingard, Pogba, Januzaj, all these players, right? Surely every football fan could look at every club and start making this argument every time they try and sign someone. Like, how far back do we go with this before we realise when Paul Pogba was at Man United, that's got nothing to do with the players now, the manager now, the director of football now, the new owner now. Like, there's no link there. But there's no link.
But Sava, the culture at the club and the lack of leadership in terms of senior players when Pogba came to the club was exactly the same as it is now. You have the same diva players like Pogba. Now you have Sancho. You have the same type of bullshit that gets accepted.
Do you know where the issue lays? The issue lays at, I get what you're saying in terms of looking at history, Jinx, right? Looking at history is one thing, right? But then Stefan also just said, I don't look at the vision. So if you're never going to look at the vision, at some stage, Arsenal had a vision, no? Right?
Of course, everybody has a vision.
So, and that vision was put in place with a correct structure. Everybody, when Arteta, I know many Arsenal fans as well, when Arteta got the job, were saying, how can a guy on work experience get the job? He's never managed before, blah, 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 blah. But Arsenal had a vision, and to be fair to Arsenal, they executed it, or they're executing it really well, right? So for me, your vision is more important than what your last 10 years have been saying. Liverpool had a vision when they brought in Klopp and they restructured and they done it and they executed their vision really well. City had a vision so to say I don't look at the vision, to me that shows that you don't want to see the progress that is being made, and that's fine.
No, Yoms,
I understand that. That's cool.
No, Yoms. I just want to. This is my final point about Man. I'm not going to talk about Man United anymore. My point is that yes, although you critique my opinion at the fact that I don't look at the vision, I say not that I don't look at the vision. For me, what's more important, I respect that. Yes, every club needs a vision so they can actually aspire to something. But what I look at is the precedents and the current structure and the current culture that is set there by the senior and the best players at your club. This is the thing. And I know this. This is my early prediction. Ten Hag is finished because the moment he brought back Sancho, what Sancho did was completely irreversible if you're a manager. The moment you bring this person back,
what's irreversible?
Because he disrespected the coach on social media, he undermined the coach. There are certain things, although Sava is right, you can make a mistake, there's redemption. There are certain things that you never go back from.
Cancelo. I'll just give an example. Cancelo
going to court for certain serious offences.
Wait. Let me give. Cancelo was easily probably the best fullback in the league, and arguably one of the best fullbacks in Europe. He had one fight with Pep because Pep dropped him for a game. One fight. You're done. Why? Because he did it in front of the team.
Hold on. De Bruyne had a fight with Pep on the pitch in front of thousands of fans and cameras. Kevin De Bruyne. He has fights with people in open.
Didn't Haaland and him have one as well?
Hold on. Didn't you have a player that took off his shirt, threw it on the floor, and walked on it?
Yeah.
Was he not brought back into the fold?
And then he put his middle finger up to the crowd as well.
Was he not one of your better players?
And you know what it is, Steph, yeah? And this is what you do, yeah? Because you had your opinion, yeah, of Ten Hag ain't gonna do it, which was completely fine. But the fact you're basing it on that one Sancho thing is the only thing. Didn't you notice that everybody attacked that one point? That's what you said. I can understand that you think Ten Hag ain't gonna do great, but basing it on that one Sancho decision is what fucked it up.
I think Chinks, do you know what I love? Chinks, do you know what I love about this? Right, I love that when people can sit there and go, "I'm telling you, Ten Hag is finished," right? And Ten Hag's made this mistake. Ten Hag's been more successful than Arteta in England in 2 years. Now, so for everything but hang on, listen. For everything we can say about mistakes being made and this player was let go, Ten Hag has found a way to galvanise these bad eggs. He's galvanised them and win 2 trophies from 3 finals, right? So it can't all be that bad, or you wouldn't have seen that performance in the FA Cup final. It can't all be that bad, or you wouldn't.
So one performance.
No, not one performance.
So
do you see who they beat to win the FA Cup? Man United beat.
We're not Gareth Southgate out here getting these lucky draws.
I have said, we have argued this in the WhatsApp group chat. I have said Arsenal's FA Cup win took our club back, I would say 2 or 3 years, because what it did is it masked the massive surgery, as Ralph Ragnick said,
like a whole new management team, a whole new boardroom, like
exactly.
All of your, like Ten Hag's got a whole new coaching assistants and a whole new boardroom and
but he's still
new
the
profiles,
coach.
new scouts.
He's still the coach. They haven't changed the most important person in my opinion.
Neither of them.
Arteta's still the coach.
I think. Do you know what I think it is, Stefan? I think. Listen, I don't support either of your 2 clubs, right? I think what's happening here is there are so many similarities between what Arsenal did then and what Man United are doing now. There's so many similarities that I think Arsenal fans have got to this stage where, Arsenal have. Listen, as a Spurs fan, I hate saying this. Arsenal are a very good team. Arsenal are a very, very good, well-organised, well-drilled football team, right? But I think that Arsenal fans getting a little bit above their stations now because they've had those 2 title runs, and now every other club is bad at the way they run their things, and they've suddenly forgot their own club 4 or 5 years back. That's the problem. Man U are basically doing now what you guys did, but they are. Look what Toon just said. Like the FA Cup win has kind of made them all go, oh, they're bidding for Jared Branthwaite. They're bidding for Ugarte. Apparently, they want Tony. Suddenly, they've got a director of football that's going, hang on, let's make some sensible signings here. Yeah?
Sensible signings is paying 60 million for an 18-year-old.
But Stefan, it's 20.
Sensible signing for you?
40 million.
Stefan, you paid 70 million for Pepe.
Oh my! Here we go.
No, hang on. Stefan, let me land. Spurs, we paid 60 million for Ndombele, 60 million for Richarlison. Clubs spend money. Some of them work, some of them don't. Right?
That's what I mean.
But the problem is, you seem to be absolving Arsenal of anything Arsenal have done, but everyone else is rubbish. Everyone else is not right. Everyone's doing it the wrong way.
Rubbish. I'm saying you're overhyping Man United's transfer business. That's just my opinion. You're hyping.
What have I said they'll achieve next year, Stefan? What have I said they'll achieve? How have I overhyped it?
No,
ask me where I think they'll finish.
No, you're comparing them to Arsenal's, what was it, like strategy that dated 3 or 4 years ago. If you look at Man United's, it's not exactly the same thing. Arsenal didn't change the coach. Arsenal never looked.
Stefan, if you're in charge of United now, right?
Yeah.
You're in charge of United now. What do you do differently? Okay,
I would not.
I'm assuming, like, and I'm talking structurally and strategically. Like, you're at the top of the board. I'm assuming you're going to say get rid of Ten Hag. Other than getting rid of Ten Hag, right? Which
is the most important, Jan.
All right. So that's one. What else would you do differently? Because there was a lot of people when Arteta finished 8th and 8th, a lot of people were saying get rid of Arteta, right?
Okay.
And you didn't. You stuck by him because you that word vision.
You saw the vision.
So what would you do strategically to United that United are not doing?
I would have sacked Ten Hag because that's what I would have sacked Ten Hag.
So you'll sack a winning manager 2 years in a row?
He's not a winning. He's not a winning manager. Cup win,
he's our most successful manager since
Stefan,
no,
whether or not
true,
whether or not he masked
in the first in 3 years.
He won 2 trophies.
Oh, you scared me.
Okay.
You scared me there when you said that.
Okay, and then
no, I mean, he literally is, Chinks.
Okay.
Not just the first two.
This goes back to what I was saying. Like, you're in grief that this isn't enough. I like to skip the process, and accept that Man United are making to all that is painful for me to see. Man United are making the right decisions. Whether we don't have to like every single bit decision, Ten Hag this, £60 million for Euro. The main big decisions, the board has changed. Ten Hag, when he looks left, he sees Ruben Nistelrooy. When he sees right, he sees some other geezer from Holland. It's not his guys from.
Can I ask a question, please? Possibly, yeah. So you see how I agree with the Man United and Arsenal thing, because it's quite obvious that they're literally like a carbon copy, like Ronaldo's there, Aubameyang and stuff like that. So I just want to check, because how long's Ten Hag been there? 2 years or about 2.5?
2 years.
So you see, like Arteta had 8, 5th. Then what was it? Second.
Yeah.
So you see, like how where we were in our stage. What stage is Man U at in that 8, 5th? Second cycle.
And the first stage is extremely.
Wait, actually, let me just finish, please. So is he still at the does he get like the 2 8s? So you see how we had 2 8s and then a 5th. So is he past the 2 8s because he's already been there 2 years, or does he get like 2 years grace period of? Do you get what I mean? Like, what stage is he at?
You know what? It's crazy because Ten Hag's first year, right? Like he overachieved.
And just last year as well.
Last year he overachieved in terms of winning something, but in terms of his league place, he didn't. Right?
No, but just to keep consistency,
he had the worst
we always put down Arteta and put Ten Hag above him because league position is irrelevant because he won nothing. So using that to defend Ten Hag, I don't think is fair.
No.
To put him down, if you know what I mean.
I'm not putting Ten Hag above.
No, I'm putting Ten Hag down. I mean, because he's got 2 trophies.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you're saying where is he, he's on par. So if you see where you guys.
So 5th next season.
I would expect 5th next season. If he has the structure, he has, the signings that he has, the coaches that he has. Don't get it twisted. Ruud van Nistelrooy has been brought into Manchester United, not necessarily for Højlund and them guys. He's been brought in for our wing players to say, get the fucking ball to the striker. You guys don't pass to the striker, right? So if he's got all of this stuff in play and he finishes anywhere lower than 5th and doesn't have a good cup run alongside that, so I'm not saying either or, then he deserves to be out on the floor. That's just what it is. If he's less than 5th next year, he's got to be out.
Wait, Chinks,
you see that? Yeah. What is your viewpoint on that? So where would you say Ten Hag will be next season then? Just to see, because if he's saying 5th is acceptable, what are you saying? Top 4?
No, I'm not saying 5th. For me, 5th is not even acceptable. But 5th is, I think, the lowest of the low. Do you get what I'm saying? I would expect United need to be finishing 4th. Next year.
And under that, he's
got to go. With your current squad or with some additional signings?
I think if we can get rid of Maguire and bring in De Ligt,
and also
bring in a left back, then I reckon.
What do you make of Onana still being there in goal? Because I felt like he contributed to a lot of goals conceded in that back line.
No, he had a good year last year. Onana had a decent year last year.
Yeah, that looks like he's in pain.
I had a decent year last year.
Can I ask, should Arteta be sacked then?
Never. Ever. He could not win something for the next 10 years. He's my guy.
So this is my point. We're at the stage, right, where it's like win stuff and you're overly critiqued. Don't win anything, and it's like, yeah, but we nearly did. So I'm just trying to work out. Arteta spent a bucket load of money. Right? Arsenal spent 160 million last year on 2 footballers, right? Didn't win the league, didn't win a cup, didn't get far in the Champions League, do you know what I mean? Didn't. So I'm not saying sack him. I'm not saying sack him, but if we're going to start saying sack Ten Hag, who took over a club who, let's be brutally honest, have been in a mess for years, right? But still wins competitions. Why does Arteta not get talked about for getting the sack?
Because a title run is all that matters. Because there's nothing else to win. So
I just want to check: is that for all Arsenal fans, or am I excluded from that?
To be fair, I'm gonna try and not be disingenuous here.
Because Ten Hag's my guy.
Chinks is all right.
I wasn't blaming any Arsenal fans, by the way, right? I just wondered if the same rules that we're going to judge just sack Ten Hag, when, let's be fair, his first 2 years were better than Arteta's first 2 years. Right, no, exactly. So
his first 2 years weren't better. His second year was not better than.
You know what?
They were. Where did you finish last year?
Just love to print it. It's because people love to print it, Saba. They just want to print on the newspaper last year? That Ten Hag gets sacked, and they just want to go,
he got third.
Okay. So Man United finished 3rd, and where did you finish last year? 6th?
8th.
Okay, 3rd and 8th. Yeah, FA Cup, League Cup, and another final. Arteta's first 2 years, FA Cup, 2 8s. How's Ten Hag not done better?
First of all, why are we? this is another disingenuous thing that especially Spurs fans do.
No. Don't chuck me in with the rest of them lot.
No. Wait. Why are we counting Arteta's first year? He came at the end of November, December. Half of the season was gone.
Stefan, you just changed the goalpost for every argument. Sorry? Every argument you have, there's a different reason. You're talking about the first 2 years. Ten Hag, sack him is the first thing I'd do. But I don't care how you want to spin this out, right? How good you want to spin it out. 8th and 3rd with 2 trophies is better than 8th, and 1 FA Cup. Factually, no matter how you spin it out.
One is not
Ten
a full
Hag turned up at Man U as a mess.
But okay.
Huh?
No matter how you spin it, doesn't even.
So the FA Cup doesn't count.
Okay, so where did he finish in his 3rd season?
Oh, he finished 5th.
So 8th, 5th, 1 FA Cup.
Where did Arteta start, and where did Ten Hag start? Arteta started from a team.
It's going to be the Man United Arsenal show.
They don't like facts. They don't like facts.
You don't like facts.
You said one more question on Man United. Leave Man United alone.
That was my fault. Sorry.
First of all, Ten Hag took over a team that Ole had gotten into the Champions League and had finished 2nd and 3rd in the previous 4 seasons before that. Arteta took over a team that had not gotten into the Champions League for the last 3 or 4 years. They were nowhere near the actual Champions League.
So 8th and 8th is better
how
than
the same thing, Sawa.
So I'm asking you, were Arteta's first 2 seasons better than Ten Hag's first 2 seasons? Yes or no?
I would say
no. No is the only answer. Right? No is the only answer.
It was. I mean, it was.
Be honest about your football club.
All right, Steph. Let me ask you a question. Steph. Let me ask you one last question. Then I'm not going to speak. Then I'm not going to talk on Arsenal's name. Yeah, I'm not going to talk on our.
And this is what annoys me, because I just have to catch strays now. I'm just catching bare strays.
After the second season, yeah, would you have sacked Arteta?
Yes. I actually thought we should have sacked him. I did.
You've changed your mind, but you've changed your mind now.
No, I didn't change. I'm being honest. I thought we should have sacked Arteta when he was going through that terrible period. But I was completely wrong.
But now you agree that you would have been wrong.
Yes, but here's the thing.
So that's just what I wanted to present to the court.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Arsenal developed. You could see the progress every single year, and by the end of that season, where I thought he should have been fired, you could see Arsenal progressed a little.
Now you know what?
Not in the first 2 years, you couldn't.
You know what?
Saw 8th and 8th.
You know why you're right, yeah? And don't let them do this to you, because you wanted Arteta sacked. So realistically, if we don't know what's going to happen with Man U, we don't know what would have happened if we would have sacked Arteta. We could have won the Champions League by now. Do you know what I mean? You never know. So you're right. You're still right. You're still right in my eyes.
Either way, you're right. When you're right, you're right.
This is the final thing. How?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I Final Fantasy 10.
Final point, I promise. Final point.
Stefan, who signed Party?
He's not. He cannot get over that side.
Who signed? I've just asked you a question. Who signed Party?
Who signed Partey? Arteta. It was his.
Do you reckon if he had signed Rodri instead of Party, you might have won something by now?
I don't think so. No.
You don't think so? Adding the best player in the world into your team wouldn't have helped you get over the line and win a title.
He wasn't. When
He's not
he
the
signed
best player in the
Partey,
world.
Rodri wasn't the best player in the world, man.
It's Foden.
Foden.
According to these, it's Foden.
I love Stefan. His bounds of Arsenal knows no. It doesn't matter. Arsenal could finish 20th. He'd find a reason that it. Oh, but that's not strictly true.
It was Ten Hag's fault.
Facts are facts. 8th, 5th, 2nd, 1 FA Cup. Ten Hag, 8th, 3rd, FA Cup, League Cup, another final. Facts are facts.
I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it real quick, just to navigate a little bit away. Just there's been a rumor going on that Trent could be on his way to Real Madrid.
Let him go.
Where's Big Preach? Where's Big Preach?
You know, do you think Liverpool should hold on to Trent and you know he should try to contract with Slot, or do you think he should? Yeah, do you think he should be gone?
It's the end of an era, man.
It's the end of an era.
Now the time.
Go on, sorry.
They should have sold. I remember because my next door neighbor is a Liverpool fan. I know this sounds crazy now. I think I told you guys this before. When they won the Champions League, they should have sold Mane. They should have sold a few guys and invested money into a little well-known striker in Dortmund called Haaland and all those other players. But they refused to do that. They missed their cycle. Now they're at a point where they have to almost look at selling a prime Trent Alexander because he's in this final contract. And whenever I hear people debating as to why he should stay, all they ever say is, "But he's a Scouser. He's a Scouser." If that's what you're going to hang your hat on, and Real Madrid are come calling, you're going to be mightily disappointed. And instead of selling Van Dijk or anybody else who's literally about Salah, where you could just get your money and invest and really be bullish in the market, you're now faced with it because Trent is looking around him saying, "Sheesh, bruv, like I'm not seeing any kind of change here. And who's this Arne Slot guy?" So now you're kind of fit, and now Real Madrid, they don't care. They'll make that phone call. They'll speak a bit of Spanish to him, and he's going to be saying "A la Madrid." He's been talking to Bellingham a lot in the training. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Bellingham's going to be talking to him, saying, "Come on, mate, look at what I'm doing here. Champions League, La Liga, Super Cup."
I know what you're going to say. Ash, let me see if we're on the same wavelength.
No, I'm going to switch it. I'm going to switch it.
Please. Let me see if we're on the same wavelength. I think I know where you're going.
No. I'm not going that way. I'm going to switch it completely. Because obviously, during the Euros, Trent Alexander-Arnold played in midfield, right?
No.
I thought he was going to do Bellingham McTominay, man. Jesus.
No, but listen, Bellingham, obviously, I don't know. People were saying that Bellingham's got this kind of like I am complex, like I'm the man, blah blah blah. Now it looks like Bellingham's calling him over to say, "Right, you know what, Trent? Come and join me and win some Champions Leagues." Do you know what I'm saying? Come with me, and I'm gonna show you the way. Does anyone think Bellingham is a bit of a problem in like the England setup? Because I felt like he was undroppable at one point. Do you know what I'm saying?
Felt like he was undroppable at one point. He was telling the man, "It can't be me getting some."
Yeah, I saw the number ball come up with Bellingham's number on, and he was like,
"Look, yeah, I think."
But he's got a point, though, isn't it? He's got a point.
He's got a point.
He's saying this about Bellingham, guys. Seriously, how? Like, okay, he didn't have the best few games in the semifinals and finals, but You need a player like this. England haven't had a player like this since maybe Wayne Rooney.
I'm so glad. Stefan, you're American, right?
No, stop doing that. He's Bulgarian. Stop that.
He's Bulgarian.
We can tell that it's pre-season, yeah, because I'm going to agree with you. Because, you know, when you play for Real Madrid, you are a Galactico, yeah? You are a big game player. There is no one in that whole England squad that can chat to you. When you're saying to people, when you're in the changing room,
Tune back your boy. Tune back Foden.
Tune
back your boy.
I'm going to be training with Mbappe. I'm going to be training with Vinicius Junior. These are my dogs. We're going to be lining each other's yards, playing pool, drinking some. You know what I'm saying? So
Ancelotti on the phone.
Yeah.
Listen. I think we're all getting a little bit too ahead of ourselves, right? Because listen, don't get me wrong. I do like Bellingham. I think his playing style reminds me of like a Zizou, even. He's fucking the first half.
Did you say Zidane?
He's playing style.
Bookmark it. Talk about it. Let him finish.
No. Before you finish your fucking point, build on that, please.
No, I'm just saying he's playing style. The way he arrives.
Zinedine, Triple Z.
Yes, he's
when
very
you watch
talented.
him, when you watch him, his playing style is very similar. He does off-the-cuff things that nobody even thinks of, right? I give him ratings. The first half of the season, first half of the season, I think he got 14 or 15 goals. It turned Christmas.
Dan's game's not based on goals.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like,
in general.
In terms of his Zidane, it's more about movement and it's more about his eye for something. But I'm talking about in terms of his overall play and where I think we're getting.
Bellingham crashes the box.
Yeah,
let me land, please, Jinx. Let me land, right? The reason why I think we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves is because the first half of Bellingham's season, he was on fire. It turned Christmas and he didn't want it anymore. In that England team, he made Slovakia and Slovenia and them man look good because Bellingham was missing. So yeah, I get it. You're a Galactico and you're this big game player and all of this and all of that, but you haven't performed for the latter half of the season, and you're doing shit in this tournament. Yeah. So I don't care who you play for. Like,
who played well for England in that tournament? Apart from Saka, Chinks.
Saka done well. I think Saka done well. Mainly done well.
Played well in that tournament.
Mainly done well.
Why do you guys do
no, but this isn't fair though, because the fact you lot said that the whole thing about Foden is playing out of position. This dickhead Southgate had Bellingham on the left wing, bro.
Thank you.
Like
Thank you.
No,
he only had him on the left wing.
Chinks are gonna like this. Bellingham and Foden cannot play together.
It's as simple as
Foden has to hold that and sit on the bench.
Bro,
I said the
Foden has to hold that.
Eze for me has to play there.
Bro, look, I'm in Norbury and my headset's broken with silicone, and I know that they can't play together. What the hell is this big nose prick doing?
He's not there anymore. He's not there anymore.
In here having
no, but Chinks, do you not realize that he moved him to the left after he had already been playing shit?
No, but you don't. He's the one and only guy. Who else?
But he's not.
Who else? Like, do you know who else?
But he said who else and then disappeared, bro.
No, but then
who else? Someone else.
Take him off the pitch then. Not throw him on left wing. He's usually.
I'm saying who else? Who else was it the next game?
I think a couple things.
Was it not my man from Villa?
I think
he hit the post or the bar though, no, didn't he?
No, but he came on and scored the winner in the next game.
Why isn't anybody talking about the ultimate golden boy, the captain of the fucking team, and the so-called I am fed up. I know Bellingham plays for Real Madrid. I know he does, and he's a Galactico. And I agreed with everything that Deji said. But it is time, for fuck's sake, to hold to account the so-called best striker in the world, who for all of his career has never performed in one big game for England or for Spurs. Why is he? Why is and you know what? Bring up. Wait. Ash, can you please bring up that comment from Meta Football? I hope you don't diss to each other. Yeah,
football. Yeah,
Meta Football. Hope you don't.
You know what? I think he's got a point.
Up at 1 a.m. Stefan, Bulgarian. Hope you don't diss.
Okay.
Each other.
Big up Meta. Yeah.
Well, Stoichkov, I'm Bulgarian. Stoichkov in every big game for Bulgaria. He got us to the semifinal of the World Cup in 1994, won the Golden Ball, and was the top goal scorer in the World Cup. Led the whole team, knocked out Germany, the defending world champion. Stoichkov won a Champions League with Barcelona and was always him, Ronald Koeman, Romario. They were always the leaders. Stoichkov was also captain and led his team.
Before you lot go though, can I build on Stefan's Kane point, because I feel like he has a point, yeah. Because I feel like Kane, best striker in the world, if not at the moment, very one of the best.
Soft as jello.
Top three maybe. You get what I mean? I didn't hear. We say Gerrard. No, but Jello. I know, but this is what I'm saying, that because he's elite. I don't know what, probably Haaland, but he's done it way longer and in different places, isn't it? So I'm not trying to discredit him, but I feel like he's got a point in terms of the England setup. And I was listening to a podcast today and they said it. Because didn't Kane get in Bellingham's way? Because Bellingham crashes the box, like, do you know what I mean? So the fact that Kane's always dropping deep and getting away. So Kane being there is stifling.
That's a managerial. That's a managerial.
No, but cool. That's one thing. And then another 2 points here. They said that during when Spain took over everything from like 2008 to 12, they had Raúl and they dropped Raúl, but they had Barcelona and Real Madrid's midfield and attack. So the fact that they dropped him, they dominated. They took, nobody cared about him getting dropped. They dominated because their team could more fit without him being there. And then on top of that,
and they played David Villa, who is an actual
bingo. And then on top of that, just now, what do you call it? There's another point as well. Morata is a slow aging, declining forward. And what Spain did was they put 2 live wires beside him to crash the box.
Stop
like,
with
He actually
you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And hold the line and then have a team. And
Bellingham's
not a midfielder. Like, he's not an 8. Like, do you know what I mean?
So he's an 8.
He's the ultimate
He's
box-to-box midfielder. He is
just
where does he play? Where does he get his best for Real Madrid? He plays a false 9, no?
He's number 10.
But that's temporary. For Dortmund, he's an 8.
Okay.
So really,
the truth of the matter is, Kane was selfish, right? Kane put self before country, right? Because
he was not fit.
That was not normal.
Stefan's right then. He should have been dropped.
Yeah, 100%. He should have been dropped. He should have
been dropped.
We should have gone to the manager and said to the manager, I'm not 100%. I'll give you 20 minutes of each game, but I can't do. There's some responsibility on him, and there's some responsibility on the coaching staff and the manager for not identifying early enough that Kane's not quite right.
Yeah, but I hear you. I feel like with England, there's a whole bag of issues. So first and foremost, the team has no balance.
There we go.
We're trying to force too many names into the first 11. Sometimes you just need some workhorses, to be honest. And that's why it didn't work. When I was doing a watch along and I was saying, why do we have Bellingham and Foden playing both number 10? It don't make sense. The 3 at the back, Kyle Walker, don't make, there's a whole load of things that wasn't making sense. And the first thing is you need to have balance. And in the squad, I wouldn't even blame Kane, because when you deep it, at international level, you need a gunman. The only gunman that England legitimately have up top is Kane. Ollie
Watkins is a gunman.
You're not guaranteed to get goals with Ollie
Spain won.
So who's Spain's gunman? Tony, huh?
But who's Spain's gunman?
Germany don't have a gunman.
Pardon?
But the wingers.
Germany don't have a gunman.
Yeah, but the fact that the team is set up in a way where it's like Liverpool, Mane. They're the forwards.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And having Kane there, it takes away from that.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. If you're a world-class player, in my opinion, a world-class player is an amazing player in every single system he plays in. You put Messi in midfield, he'll still be, yes, he won't be the greatest Messi ever, but he'll still be really good. This is my point. If Kane is this is the thing that I don't understand, okay? Please, somebody enlighten me, because you guys are all British, and it pisses me off how much.
I will. And if I got to come to the States, I'll help you out. Don't worry.
Let me.
Why do you keep saying he's American? He's not American. What's wrong with you?
So the thing that I get annoyed about the British media is they want to call, and all of the fans, they want to call Harry Kane the best striker in the world. I can't argue. His stats are.
You're not allowed to say this, Steph. You're not.
No,
British,
wait. Let me just ask this. They want to call him the best striker in the world. Okay, so
he is.
You are the talisman of the team. You are considered the best player of the team, the leader of the team. Okay, when the team fails, why does he get no accountability or? I remember when David Beckham, when England was shit.
Criticizing him though. Everyone.
Wait. I remember Wayne Rooney, the scrutiny that he would get in this tournament. The whole scrutiny was on Bellingham, was on Bukayo Saka, was on other players, Kyle Walker. I didn't read one article about Harry Kane being fucking shit and should have been changed.
No,
Stefan,
you're right in that. You're never gonna read an article.
Why?
Go against Kane, right? Because the print press, they just love him, right? There's nothing he can do.
He's not
it's the same reason Roy Keane ain't in the game still.
But the streets don't forget, bro. Like, everybody that I know that I've spoken to has criticized Kane, and to be fair, even more so than they've criticized Bellingham, because Bellingham done the overhead madness and did perform well in the first game and done okay in the fight. I think done all right in the final. But yeah, like you're right, Kane needs to get more scrutiny for how big he is and for what he doesn't do.
The only thing I would say, just quickly adding to that, the Bulgarian team with Stoichkov was built for Stoichkov. Stoichkov, they knew his skill. Everyone around him that does their thing enables him to play. The Argentinian team with Messi, these guys pray to Messi before they come out on the pitch. That's how it is. They need to give you the ball. Now with England, I didn't see any England player busting the gut to feed Kane the ball. Did you? In the Spanish
he wasn't there. Saka did. How many times did Saka? How many times did Saka put the ball in the box?
Can I please?
Wait. Hold on. You either don't remember or you're being disingenuous. The amount of times Saka is cutting the ball and giving it to the and Kane isn't there.
Yeah.
And Kane is either in a halfway line passing to the invisible man. Bellingham's getting frustrated because he can't press properly because Kane can't run. He can't run.
But I just final rant.
I don't believe
when
you said final too many final times, bro.
Final rant about Kane. When he was at Spurs, the excuse was he didn't perform in the big games because he didn't have the right crew around him. He didn't have he had fucking Harry Winks and Ben Davis and stuff. That was the excuse.
He doesn't.
Then England came. It's Southgate's fault. The players aren't better than the current crop there of France. Now, okay. So then he goes to probably the most winnable club, apart from maybe Real Madrid at Bayern Munich, where he has easily the best players. Where he has easily the best players. For the first time in 10 years, Bayern Munich don't win anything.
Come on, Stefan, though. He scored 51 goals, bro. He scored 51 goals. What do you want this guy to do, bro?
It's not enough, though. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. They didn't win anything. It's not enough.
No, but wait. It's not that they didn't win anything. It's the fact that in all of the big games that he played for in the Bundesliga, against Bayer Leverkusen, against Dortmund, against Real Madrid, in the Champions League, he did absolutely nothing. It's great scoring 4 goals against Werder Bremen. Well done. Nobody can deny that. I've said this before. If anybody watches NBA, he is the Kevin Durant of football. Amazing player, amazing talent, amazing stats, soft as jello.
Do you know why that's so harsh? Do you know why that's so harsh? You play with 11 players, right? 10 on the outfield, right?
Here we go.
Not every day is going to be you. Look, I actually agree with you to a certain extent. I agree with you to a certain extent that Kane could do better in certain big games.
You really set the
But the guy scored 50 goals, bro. You can't say but he didn't score that one in the Champions League final. You know who scored Man City's goal in the winning goal in the Champions League final? Rodri.
Exactly.
Not their number 9
winner. The potential Ballon d'Or winner.
But let me finish. Not their number 9. It's not always your striker that's going to fire you to the winning goal. Like sometimes somebody else needs to step up. And I think that's why Kane gets a little bit of a blind, because he scores a bag of goals, and then it's like if he don't score, like there's no shows. Like
Tell
he
me,
can score 50 goals, bro.
Tell me one moment in Harry Kane's career where his team in a big game are struggling. Like, for example, Bellingham against Slovakia. Bellingham against Slovakia scores a fucking backflip goal from nothing. He takes you were dead in the water. Saka against
the winning goal in that game.
Took the ball.
Kane scored the winning goal in the game.
Sorry?
Kane scored the winning goal in that game.
Okay. He scored. It was 1-1.
You can't do that, tune, man. He had a whole.
Oh, sorry.
And you just threw him off.
Yoms, take it easy.
Before you go, Yoms, wait, one quick question, yeah? Tomahawk said at 11:08, Peter Crouch was a better technician than Bellingham. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me.
Good night. Good night, bro. Tomahawk sounds like a new strand. I'm gonna try and find it. No.
Take it
easy.
Hey, it is.
Thank you, bro.
Nice one. Big up, Deji. Big up. So go on, Chris. You're here now. What's it you want to say? What's going on?
What's going on?
You a little bee in your bonnet.
Me? Yeah. Me? Not at all, man. Not at all, man. I was just saying about the Stoichkov bit, that because Stefan's so critical about everything and nothing. I'm just hoping he's a Bulgarian. He wouldn't criticize Stoichkov. That's all I'm saying. I'm not.
Oh no.
Gonna bees or
but how can I criticize a player that literally galvanized a small nation to the semifinal?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the question that you have to answer.
No,
that's I mean, I can't. I was just hoping that you wouldn't put like a stake through his knife. Sorry, a knife through his heart. Sorry.
But see, this is what I mean. If I criticize Kane, I critique everything. That's not true. I defended Bellingham. I've always said Bellingham, although he didn't play well, at least Bellingham, yeah, he wasn't very good, but he didn't huff and puff. He gave his all. He tackled.
That's not true.
He tried.
That's not true. Watch the game against Denmark. And whenever he lost the ball, everybody and Denmark, right? No, hang on a minute. If you're a number 8, and supposedly you're a number 8, okay, which is a typical number 8, not a modern number 8, a typical number 8, which is box to box, you attack and you defend, right? Mm-hmm. If you lose a ball, your first instinct is go and get that goddamn ball back, right? Not lie on the floor looking at the ref saying, it was a foul. What do you mean it's not a foul? What do you mean it's not a foul? That is not an attitude of someone that's earning 15 million or whatever he's earning, playing for Real Madrid, playing for England. That's not an attitude that a number 8 or any player of the elite standard should be doing, moaning at a ref.
I agree.
So he was great. He was this. No, he wasn't great. Okay, so not all the time.
Okay. But why is he receiving, Chris, more heat than Foden, who was much worse than him, than Harry Kane, who was worse than him? Then let's be honest. Kyle Walker in the playoff stage was an absolute atrocity.
Do you know what?
That's a big Gareth Southgate as well. Ben White.
I think in terms of receiving heat, I think part of the problem is even outside of it is and it isn't part of his control. Where people talk about the PR stuff, the whole thing around Hey Jude, which the England camp when England put that out, I think they did the same thing with Was it Rooney? They did it with Rooney, did it with Beckham, and that puts a whole. Imagine walking into the dressing room with all the other lads, and you're the figure for Bellingham for England. That puts you in a whole
expectation.
Position. How is Southgate now going to drop you? He's not going to drop you if he feels that you're the face of England, and that's where England have gone wrong. That's where playing Foden, Bellingham, Declan Rice, whoever else can fit in, Cole Palmer in that whole midfield area, when you could have just simplified it and balanced it out and made it work. And he couldn't do that. Southgate changed in this tournament when before he was picking players on their merit and he was trying to get balance, but now he's ruined that. And I feel like going back to the point of like Bellingham running back and stuff like that, box to box. When you're trying to be a high pressing team, your first line of defense is your strikers.
Correct.
And so if Kane can't do that, and the ball keeps on, you get the ball back, and the ball keeps on going back really quickly. I saw Declan Rice hoofing the ball like Stoke City. England turned into Stoke City. Again, I don't think that's the players, but I think it's Southgate. I think he bottled that whole tournament. He was lucky we got to the final.
I agree.
They keep saying England he's not the best England manager ever because he reached finals and stuff. England got to those finals despite of Southgate, not because of Southgate.
But guys, can we at least acknowledge, like, I get Southgate is a terrible coach. He's gone now. But the thing that I also get annoyed is just the extreme, like, he took you from a team that had got knocked out by fucking Iceland.
Listen,
you were dead in the dumps. Like, yes, you haven't won. You haven't won.
No, but the squad wasn't it? Wasn't it a different squad, Steph?
What do you mean the different squad?
From Iceland.
No, it was. I think Iceland was 2016, right? 2016.
Look, all Southgate did, and this is the loser mentality that people have acknowledged. He made everyone feel good. Yeah, and that's like he just made
vibes. He's good with vibes.
Vibes, a vibe. Everyone's coming in.
He's a good DJ,
bro.
Everyone's a good DJ.
You know, everyone's doing a bit of that, a bit of this, bro. So, but nobody's winning anything.
But England aren't winners. It's kind of like
no.
England aren't winners. They haven't been winners.
They've got treble winners, Champions League winners, Ballon d'Or nominees.
1966, lad. Don't you ever forget.
Yeah, okay. But I'm talking about in the last 30 years, the culture of England has always been, they're kind of like the Spurs of international competitions. They've got good players. They've got good players.
So we talked about Spain, who got massive clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and the coaches have never been afraid. Or I see at least when they were winners, they won the European Cup twice and World Cup twice in 12 years. Why? Because they benched players. They had Cesc Fabregas, who was like on 25 GA that season.
It's Xavi
on the bench.
Yeah, but he was on the bench too because Xavi and
I mentioned the wrong player. Sorry. Not Fabregas. Let me use some player that's not from Arsenal. They benched a whole load of players, so they had balance in the team, and they were incredible. That's what Gareth Southgate should have done. He should have played mainly from the beginning, and made a choice either between Bellingham and Rice together with whoever, just to balance it out. Because you couldn't on the left. Exactly. That's it.
I think he should have had balls and dropped Kane and Foden. But he didn't have
100%. He just made everybody worse. Why didn't you play Watkins? Look how much they improved as soon as he came on.
Tony was much better also than Kane when he actually came on. I don't know. I don't know. I would have played like the Spain game. I agree with you. I blame the Spain game on him because when I watched Bukayo Saka get triple teamed and quadruple teamed on that side, and you see Foden continuously coming inside, and you see the huge amount of space on the left wing, and you're thinking, put on Gordon. I know he hasn't played a lot. Put on Gordon for just the speed to make them think about him. That you cannot just leave Gordon open.
He's going to put Gallagher and Trippier on, wasn't he?
He puts on
atrocious.
He puts on Airball.
He's so bad.
There's no excuse for that.
Bad.
So when they said, England were down in the dumps, they could have gone. They were
because you know what the bridge between, because Steph is saying don't go too heavy on him because he took us from where we were at Iceland, but then it's like he's done at the final. He's so shit. Yeah, he's the only guy that's underachieved and overachieved at the exact same time. I don't even know how that's physically possible.
He's balanced then, Jinx. He's balanced.
It's like a guy. It's like a guy who lost weight but got a crack addiction. Like
this is so harsh. I would say he's built an amazing base for someone to take the team and to win. For someone.
Well, he smokes cracks then. So
that's harsh. That's harsh, man. Like I just think yeah, the football was terrible.
This is exactly how he's got everybody feeling. Oh, you're being harsh. You're being harsh. Yeah. We were 10 seconds away from going out the tournament to Slovakia, bruv. 10 seconds.
I'm not saying
away to Slovakia. Denmark played off. Georgia played better football than us. Albania played better football than us.
That's true.
How is that even possible? They had second division La Liga players in their midfield.
Okay,
That is a disgrace.
But he still created now. No, but okay. Has he improved the situation from when
he came worse?
In? It's worse than when he came in.
For me, it's worse. I feel like
how
you know when
like
it's. I was going to say Arsenal. I'm not going to mention Arsenal. Sometimes teams can win cups, right? or England went really far in tournaments and disguised the fact that they were really rubbish in those tournaments. Everybody knows as soon as England meet a highly competent side, not even highly, just like a decent Denmark were competent. They played better. England just lucky they had Kane. Who scored that goal? Was it Kane? By accident? Who was it? Was it a Saka cutback? Because Kane bothered to be in the penalty box. Nice of you, Kane. What happened? You score a goal.
So just to quickly move away from England, go back to the Prem. I'm going to bring this up. And Aston Villa prepared.
Wow. They got
cojones. Chelsea.
Where's Arsenal? Where's Arsenal with this?
So, no, I was going to ask the Arsenal boys, are you not disappointed that you're not also in for him? Because you were in for him at one point, but it's kind of calmed down. Can't hear about Calafiori either. I know there's some complication with Bologna and Basel, saying Basel doesn't want to, negotiate on the terms. I think it's a 50% deal where they get some of the money. Well, yeah, what are your thoughts on this, guys? Like, because even me, I'm as a Spurs fan, I'm like, Aston Villa? That should be Tottenham. Yeah, I'd say, but I know. So
you want to go or I should go first?
Not happening, man.
Just go on, Chris. Go on, Chris.
Nah, sorry. As being in Spain, get the news as everyone does anyway. But it's apparently they've already come to an agreement. Barcelona and Nico Williams. Deco was reunited. Well, had a meeting with Tainta, I think is his agent, and they come to an agreement apparently. As long as Barcelona can get their finances like 1-1, which is on par, so to speak, he's Barcelona bound. So I don't know what the speculation is about. The only other option is that he stays for another season and stays in Bilbao. That's the only viable, according to the information here in Spain. So I mean, other clubs can do what they want, but he's either staying in Bilbao or going to Barcelona.
I don't know. I heard Barcelona have no money, and that's the reason why
Chelsea, they always
no peso.
They always every season they say this. They had no money for.
It's not about the money.
No pesos,
they had no money for Rafinha. Somehow they moved three financial fucking levers from nothing and find 200 million. So they will find a way.
Wasn't that so? Didn't they have to sell some TV rights that they had?
They sold. They sold.
You sell the rights, but you don't lose them, right? You can. It's like on a 50-year, or depending on the levers. There was one that was 30 years, another one was 25 or something. Another one is whatever. But you can always buy it back from them. It's not like sold and gone, right? So it's like a long-term lease, so to speak.
Yeah. That's like
you basically
sell your TV and then I'll be back for that TV.
That's exactly what Arnie did.
Actually, what they do is they basically
losing weight.
They basically agree to pay to give 25. So the entity pays them, and they agree that they will be receiving 25% of their media TV deal or whatever for the next 20 years. And Chris is right.
Do you know what?
And then Barca can just have a buyout clause within the contract and just buy it back. It's bullshit. I think it's financial laundering. It really is.
I think what Villa are doing what Man United did with Yoro, and they're saying, these man can't afford you, fam. I don't care if you agree to personal trip. We're going to put the money up and see what you're saying. But the Spanish teams are looking vulnerable right now. So in terms of that, just put them. Villa, I'll show him some coffee.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, sorry to interrupt you. At the end of the day, it's what the player really wants, isn't it? I mean, because Villa could come and say, right, we'll give you 250 grand a week, and your hours. Yeah. But if he doesn't want to go to Birmingham,
you're
they're building a new mall, Chris. They're building a Westfields in Birmingham. So don't.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Shit, we didn't get that in Croydon, man. We didn't get the Westfields.
No, wait. You also have to remember the only club that I think that could maybe sway him because of money is Villa, and I'll tell you why. Villa are going to receive, from what I read, around 70 million for Diaby. Yeah. And Villa are going to use that money and say, you know what? The release clause, I think, for him, how much is it, Chris? Like 42 million? It was like something.
For Nico.
No, it was like 40. It was small.
58 million euros.
50, so 50 million pounds. And they will be like, you know what? The rest of that sign-on fee that we received, the rest of the transfer, we're going to give it to you as a sign-off. Villa will go all out if they feel that they can attract him, the same way they did with they stole Kamara from Atletico Madrid. They blew them out the water by offering him 200K a week, and everybody was like, "How could Kamara reject Atletico to go to Villa?" So Villa are, if they smell a chance, they will go out. I also think Arsenal, if they manage to sell maybe a Smith Rowe for some type of money and Nketiah, I do think when
Arsenal
Arsenal
got money,
really,
you guys are me. You got money, man. You don't need to sell Smith Rowe to buy someone. Like, you guys need to.
I agree, but from what I read, the club wants to set a culture now. The owners are really not happy at our ability to sell players over the years. So we want to set an example in the market because we have this perception that we're bad sellers, which is very true. So I think the owners, I think we have cash. I don't think.
Why can't you do two things at once? Why can you not sell players and still make a bid for?
I have no
Nico
idea.
Williams?
I have no idea, Toon. I have no idea. I honestly think what Chris said is completely true. I think if you read about the way Arsenal do things, it is they only go for the player when they are sure that we are his choice. So someone like, for example, like Timber said, I only want to go to Arsenal. Declan Rice, similar. Kai Havertz also. When
those days have to.
I agree.
They've just bought Onana. So just literally on the Telegraph, it's been said they've just bought Onana. They sold David Luiz and his girlfriend in the same week. Now they're getting Nico Williams. Come on.
Yeah, but Toon, I could.
Where's Jay?
But Toon, I could make the argument that although Villa have balls and cojones doing this, I can make the argument that they have downgraded massively in mine. I think Douglas Luiz is a far better player than Amadou Onana.
Definitely,
in my opinion.
But I think what it is, like if you look at the midfield in total, they're trying to build like a robust, strong midfield. But it's got they've got Onana,
McGinn.
They've got McGinn. Do you know what I'm saying? They've got Kamara. So they're going for
and then Monica.
Yeah, they got Tillemans and they got what's his face?
Ramsey.
The Englishman, Ramsey, the 30-year-old.
Rogers. You guys are forgetting Rogers.
Barkley and Rogers for flair. Yeah. So if you look at that midfield as a whole,
serious.
Onana,
serious.
Kind of works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Ash, they just sold, apart from Watkins, their best player.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They sold their best player.
You're looking at the past, bro. Look at the past, man.
Committed with Barkley and Onana and giving Rogers more minutes. I can see what Unai Emery is doing and how he can probably get the best out of someone like Onana because he's 22 years old. Yes, he has a really good, on the ball, he's not as good as Douglas Luiz, no way. But in terms of breaking up play, just doing that job, just doing a
Rice role.
He's massive. I honestly thought Onana
in the air as well
was perfect for Newcastle. I thought Onana was the ultimate signing for Newcastle.
We've got Joe Linton, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, as like a
Gomez.
Like Joe Linton understudy.
You're boxing up your man. Odegaard don't want it.
City want Bruno. You know that.
Yeah, they do. It is what it is.
I'm also reading the rumors are that Arsenal are waiting until the end of the window to make a big bid for Bruno. Also, I don't believe it.
Well, I
don't believe it.
There's only
Bruno who?
We'll make a
Newcastle.
The Austrian reporter that Borat did as well. That Bruno.
Would you
give it age?
So
do you think Barcelona, if they were to get Nico Williams, because it looks like
they will, man. They want him. They will.
Yeah, it looks like they want Yamawa on the right and
they got no money.
Yeah.
Do you think that leaves no room for what's his face that came from Leeds?
Rafinha.
Do you think he's up for it?
He might be but
he's got offers. Yeah. He's got stupid offers from Saudi. Like Richarlison's got stupid money for like 70, 80, 90.
Yeah, the Brazilian.
But Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I read, him and Frankie de Jong, they want to stay at Barca, no matter what.
Of course they do. They do.
Yeah, so they can have.
Frankie's on 32 million a year. Why wouldn't he want to leave?
Yeah, I agree. But that's the major issue. And I do think if they sign Nico Williams, they're gonna sell one of their big assets in the first.
Araujo.
They're gonna sell Koundé.
Araujo could be sold.
Yeah, or the other defender, Araujo. So
and who are they going to sell? Because no one's buying anything. Speaking of bad sellers, Barcelona, like goodness gracious.
Yeah, no, very bad history of sellers. We're not selling club. It's not selling club. So I mean,
but Chris,
they got 25 million for Emerson Royale, guys. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
that's an amazing stuff.
How can we? Listen, Chris, how do you feel about Real Madrid and their front three?
Not very good. Stop there. Stop there. How do I feel about Real Madrid? You can stop the sentence there, man.
No, because obviously Mbappe is going to be up top, and then you've got Mbappe. No, not Mbappe. You've got
Vinicius
on the left.
Vinicius, Rodrigo.
I don't know. Like for me, I thought Mbappe was the left forward, the wide forward. Do you think they will clash in that kind of system? Do you think it will work?
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to shoehorn Mbappe as an out-and-out number 9 if Vinicius is to keep his position. Did you see that working?
No, I don't see it working because Mbappe is not a number 9, is he? And Vinicius is not a number 9. And the closest thing they've got to a number 9 is Rodrigo. But he'll probably play on the right if he maintains. But then they sign Hendrick, who's coming, I don't know when. But that to me.
What about Bellingham as well? Does he go?
Bellingham's the number 10. He's like not a false 9.
He's a
slightly deeper. Yeah. So he was the one that created and helped in attack, and that's why his numbers are so big this year, because they haven't got a number 9. So they had to rely on all of this talent to get it, to get games over the line and to win and whatever. Yeah. But Mbappe is a 9. I don't think anyone can see that.
Guys, how can you forget the most clutch number 9 in world football? Joselu. Come on, guys. He scored the most important goals for Real Madrid last year.
Joselu,
yeah.
He comes on, wins the game against Bayern Munich in the last 5 minutes, scores the winning goal. I think it was against Barca or Atletico. I don't remember. He's been so clutch for them. Yeah, Trent, please. Yeah, this is bullshit. This is not happening.
Yeah.
No, the rumors here in Spain have been quite a few seasons now. It's not just this year. So
can you see him, Chris, playing him? The guy doesn't defend.
Yeah, but I put it in the comments before, because if Nico Williams signed for Barcelona and they sign Trent, we're gonna have a field day down the left wing.
Like it's gonna be murder. It's gonna be an absolute massacre. Like I've seen.
Who's better though? Who's better, Trent or Walker?
What?
Ben White.
Hang on a minute. It's not what I was going to say before.
Ben White.
Better is a moniker that we give players because we either like them or we don't know about them or we don't see how they work. Better at what? Better defensively or better attacking?
Chris, as a right back. As a right back.
That's what I know. I was curious.
Well done.
This is easy, guys.
For me, Walker's better than Trent because a right back has to defend.
Yeah.
Right? As an attacking wing back, which I think Trent is more of a right wing back. Yeah. He's better because he can go forward, which means that he doesn't have to rely so much on tracking back and the defensive role. He gives width and he gives passes. That's great. Sorry, he's great. But as a defender, Walker's much better as a defender. This is my opinion.
This is going to sound weird, but I think
Chris is being nice.
I'm not being nice. I'm being honest.
I think
much better is the understatement of the year. Walker it's like comparing a Premier League player to a National Conference League football player in terms of defense.
No, Trent has improved his defense. I think there's two possibly options here. Obviously, Carvajal is getting older, so the natural replacement is Trent Alexander. But I'm beginning to think that they're looking at they might look at Trent as a replacement for Cruz. So if you see how Cruz plays for Real Madrid, he spends a lot of time in their end of the pitch and pinging the passes.
Yeah,
it is. It's a big shoes to fill, but he's won Champions Leagues before and Premier Leagues before. He's not an O'Ferry.
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
And he stays in that. He can float between the left back, right back, side of the front of the back three. So it's interesting.
If he is, let me ask you. If he is so
he
good,
could work, but
wait. Let me ask you. If he is so good at midfield and so talented at doing that in a dominant Liverpool team, why did Klopp? Because let's be honest, the last 2 years, Liverpool's midfield has not been very good. I think that's been their weakest point over the last 2 years. Why has he not tried him? If Trent is this perfect Toni Kroos replacement, this is the thing that every Liverpool fan tells me, he can play in midfield, then why does your greatest coach in the last 30 years not play him there? And you saw why, because he played there for England. And again, he's good on the ball. He's got an elite passing, elite crossing. But the moment the ball is off him and he has to position himself and defend and read the game, and
because
he is horrendous.
Yeah, because there's no Henderson in his prime to cover for him.
That's right. He's got no one to hold his hand.
Yeah.
I think we all agree on that. I want to save that though. I want to bring that for a Liverpool fan.
No, where is Preach? Preach is his biggest defender.
Yeah, this is what I want it for. So another time we'll bring it back up. I wanted to end on this, guys, before we go. I wasn't going to talk about it, but you might as well. 5 minutes, quick one. What do you not make of this Enzo Fernandez thing? Because obviously,
Chelsea.
Chelsea's Chelsea. Racist tea. We know about racist tea. And then obviously, after racist tea, they
what the fuck was that apology?
They had Conor Gallagher blanking a couple mascots, and then Enzo Fernandez, when he took his shirt off, there was a couple brothers in the crowd.
Come on, that's harsh. I'm
joking. I know, family member. Apparently, the family member, but he's come out with an apology. Obviously, him and Wesley Fofana, were going at it online.
You think
it's what happened online?
Oh, environment back at Chelsea,
but Jackson backed him. Jackson backed him as well.
Jackson did back him, which you know what? I'm super impressed with Nick to back him in this heat. That tells me Jackson has some balls on him, because to knock back all the other players on his team, especially black players, was really ballsy from him. I was shocked at that, to be honest. I was really shocked.
I think my thing is, because I keep on asking people for translations, because every time I get a translation, there's a line that's changed, there's this that's changed. Never we can speak Spanish here, but like,
go
on, Chris.
My mother was Spanish, so
brilliant.
And I live in Spain, man.
Let's play the clip and let you translate it.
Chris, is it really racist? Is it like Spanish? Is it really racist?
We have to determine what is Spanish and what isn't, right? Spanish in Spain is different than Spanish in Argentina, right? So it's different. So whenever they call someone negro, which is black,
which
they might be saying mate, buddy, chum, geezer. Do you know what I mean? It might be because they're not actually saying black man or the N-word, or do you know what I mean? They're not actually saying that. It's like a colloquialism. It's the way they speak. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say, forget about it. I can't, because it's not right. What they did is not right. Now he's apologizing about in the heat of the moment, the euphoria. But I still don't condone it. I condemn it. But what you're saying, Toon, is correct, because the translations, if they're literal, they're not going to mean what he was saying or what was intended. You have to understand the context and the difference in dialects. So I think that it was quite racist, to be honest.
Okay.
But if it's colloquial, then it doesn't mean black man or black person or the N-word, or you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that. Not
the word, because Bulgarian is also the word negro in Bulgarian, it's pretty much the N-word, but the N-word in Bulgarian is literally, it means black. So sometimes the languages get confused together. But the content of the song, he's basically singing at the fact that they're not French because they're descendants from Angola and Cameroon, right?
That's stupid, though, isn't it? Because tell me one Argentinian that is from Argentinian heritage. They're all Italian.
Yeah, there's half of Argentina from
Spanish. It's quite a poor excuse. Regarding the song to criticize someone because they're from Angola, from Mozambique, they're from where. But you're bloody half Italian, like Fernandez. Fernandez is not Argentinian. It's Spanish. It means of. The EZ it means of. So their descent, their heritage, their lineage is someone that was called Fernando.
Yeah.
So he's from the Fernando family. Gomez is, from whatever. Rodriguez is from Rodrigo. All of these things, you have to give context and you have to understand what's being said. He's a complete idiot if he's going against black people from France because they're from Angola when he's flipping Italian or Spanish.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
Can I read it out? Can I read it out?
Yeah, sure.
The translation I've got here says they play in France, but they are all from Angola. They are obstacles like Mbappe. His mother is Nigerian. His old man is Cameroonian. The document says French nationality. The only thing Enzo Fernandez did was tell truths. This is what his post says.
But
put it up. I want to get Chinks on this one. What do you think of this one? Is he being racist?
Those are all facts, though, isn't it? Sorry to say, I understand. Like, it might be a bit stupid, and to have that viewpoint, considering you're not from where you're from.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can call him stupid. I don't know if I can call him racist.
But it is racist because he's downplaying the French players because they're not supposedly what he would term as French.
But
I think that's a disrespect.
It is kind of racist.
It depends how you define racism. So
that's fine.
The basic racism is I believe you are inferior to me based on your color.
Yeah.
So that's my understanding. I don't know if it's different for anybody else.
Okay, it's not racist. It's if you want to go into the terms, it's xenophobic. What he's doing is he's downplaying the French team and their best player because he's not from the so-called typical Frenchman. His name isn't Jean-Luc Philippe or some shit, and he's not white. So that's exactly what he's doing. He's not from mainland France.
That could be two ways, though, because that could be I understand it can be seen as disrespectful to Mbappe, but I think it's more a shot at French people for allowing so much. Your team's not based on people that are like you. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it is inherently racist by the fact. No, but it is inherently. I don't mean to be like super woke or anything, but it is inherently racist because he is inferring a certain type of identity around France. So if you're a descendant from Angola or from Cameroon, then you can be ridiculed. In a song. Why isn't he singing about? Oh, they're not really French because they're from the north of France, which is kind of known to be kind of chavvy. So, like, why isn't he singing like negatively about that? No, he's focusing.
Is this Is this similar to? Well, no, can I say similar? I don't know if you guys remember when Trevor Noah, the comedian, put up that picture of the French squad after they won, I think, the World Cup, and he said, "Which did he say?" I can't remember what his statement was, but it's essentially saying, it's France, but all of them are from Africa or something like that. And I was Trevor Noah from America, right?
And South African.
Yeah, he's South African, but he resides in America. And you've got a lot of people culturally agreeing with that. And I always found it. I thought the same thing at the time. Where what if that's reversed? And I was worried because people I thought it was, and I don't want to be like against.
What do you mean by reverse? Sorry.
Kind of what we're seeing now. I know that it's a song, and I know it's different, and I know the dialect could be different, and the racism or whatnot. I don't know if it's the same thing or it's totally different. But if what we're saying, if the translation is how it is, i.e., they say they're French, but their parents are from Cameroon, Nigeria. Is it the reverse of what Trevor Noah was saying about?
No, it's similar, but Trevor Noah, he didn't do it in the same way. I remember what you're talking about. If you speak to South Americans, I had a number of Brazilian friends in university, and they told me the same thing about Argentinians.
Okay.
Which is Argentinians, their fans specifically, when they go, they're infamously racist at the fact that they at the stadiums, because the Brazilians always have a number of black players, tan players, whatever whatever race. They're always mixed, the Brazilian. So the Brazilians have always told me that the Argentinians within the region think that they're better than everybody else because they're kind of the most purely white in a way country. Even though if you look at Angel Di Maria or Otamendi, Angel Di Maria, where I grew up in the Middle East, can easily come across as Arab. Everybody can think of him as Arab.
So say take that. So we take that, and it said, why did Enzo Fernandez, who plays for Chelsea, put it? Was it on Instagram Live?
Yes.
Yeah, he was because he started, because not only was it on Instagram Live, the moron, what he did, was he also literally in the Instagram Live, he started that chant. He started singing it and encouraging everybody to join in.
That's insane. Does he want to leave Chelsea? Like I'm thinking about pure sabotage here.
I feel like, I'll be honest, I feel like they've done this before. And I feel like
100%.
They sung at the World Cup because obviously they beat France. Why is it now, Copa America, they're singing it? France aren't even in the finals. Got nothing to do with them. Them men are parading around on the bus. I see man slamming down. Them men are getting gassed there. You know what I mean? It's like you say, Newcastle get battered everywhere we go.
By the way, guys,
and you're playing in the Champions League.
By the way, notice
the same black people, Negro.
No, guys,
notice get battered everywhere they go. What's going on there?
Ash, notice. Go and rewatch the video, guys. He realized midway through the chant that he fucked up and stopped the actual Instagram Live. He looked up and realized that he looked down and realized that the Instagram Live is still on. And
I think the guy next to him probably tugged this. Who's that?
Or it was somebody that told him.
It was Julian Alvarez sitting next to him.
Julian Alvarez.
Amigo.
So this is from what I was told from my South American friends. If you speak to any South Americans, especially Brazilians, they hate Argentinians, not because they view that Argentinians look down, like they look in a kind of in a condescending way due to this. I'm not saying all Argentinians are racist. That's what they told me.
Did you see the poster when they beat Canada? And I think Drake, well, maybe that's a man, but Drake put a £3 million bet that Canada would win, and they lost. And so they sent a post saying, "Not like us," on the things. So I don't know.
I'm gonna lock it off, man. I'm gonna lock it off. I'm tired. We've had some fun. Big up the chat.
Big up the chat.
Big up everyone inside. If you're watching on playback, please do make sure you like, share, and subscribe, man. It helps us get out there, the mathematics of it all, the algorithms. We just want to be seen. So pay your rent, man. Pay your taxes.
Pay your rent, man. Wipe your feet.
Rent's due, man. I'm the landlord right now. I'll big up you, man. Big up everyone. Love for the love.
Big up.
Football TV. Where can we find you next?
Yeah, not doing much. Just a few shorts. Few personal issues going on. But I'm not going to get into that. So just at the channel and whatever pops up, see how things go.
Cool.
So thank you for having me on, and big up to Stefan, to Toon, and to Jinx, and yourself, Ash, and everyone in the chat. And smash those likes and pay your bills.
I was gonna say something in Spanish, but I'm worried I might just
go on then. No. Go on then.
Is it orale? Is it like meant to be like a great?
It's Mexican, man.
As I'm Mexican. So you see. I heard it in Blood and Blood. That's German, bro.
What?
Hasta la
vista. No, man, that's not German. Until the next time we see each other.
Oh,
vista, baby.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah.
Come on.
Fair play.
Why do you think it was German? Because of Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's Austrian.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's right there.
Racist.
That's right. What language?
What
language do Austrians speak? What language?
Austrian.
Austrian. That's German. Shame on you.
You're wrong. Ostrich.
Or as
ignorant here.
I need to put Chinks on mute.
Also, big up David.
Big up to David Shear, man.
Big up David Shea. You sound like a race car driver. Yeah.
He's Austrian. He's Austrian. He's Australian. He's Australian buddy, man. Not Austrian. Fuck Austria. Jesus. I've got Austria in my veins now. Australian buddy from.
Cut the show.
Yeah, cut the show.
Doing tactics. What have you got coming up, bro?
Oh, literally, I released a video yesterday. Eddie Howe, club or country? All the controversy surrounding him, whether he's going to join England or not. Find out what I think. And if he stays, yes or no. Let me know, guys. Send in your comments. Even if it's just to say hi in the comments, it'd be great. Like, share, and subscribe. As always, you can find me on Toon Tactics TV, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you again.
I love, man. I had Chigs, as always, and Stefan, as always. Love for the love, man. Always appreciate it, man. We're going to come back on. Pre-season chat's going to be talking now because Arsenal will be going to get into it this weekend. You got a few games coming up as well during the week. So, same with Newcastle, same with Spurs. Obviously, Spurs won 5-1, but nobody cares. Yeah, guys, on that note.
Big up.
Come on, you Spurs, man.